All right, trying it again. Okay, so I think we got Instagram going now. Let's double check. Go live. There we go. Instagram is finally live for the first time. There we go. Okay. Think we're good. Now we got to get TikTok going. Unable to start live stream in LinkedIn. Continue without doing brown. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Sorry, just trying to get set up. Trying to get all the moving parts in place. Okay. TikTok Studio. Man, it takes so much effort just to go live, eh? All right. I think we're almost there now. Go live. Yes. There. Is it locked? Okay, I'll lock. There. Okay. Lock. Go live. There we go. Okay. 5 code and live 3 apps. That's some flops. Go live. School link. Finally. Okay. I think we got all the pieces in place. Instagram is working. Make sure. Instagram, test it. There we go. Fantastic. YouTube is also working. Let's just double check that. Make sure that we're good. Yeah. We got live YouTube. Perfect. Okay, I gotta figure out the LinkedIn thing at a later date. And chat, live chat, there we go, for TikTok. Sweet. All right. We're finally live. And I'm gonna say welcome to anybody that... Okay, there we go. Yes, perfect. Okay. All right. Finally, we are total viewers, real time. Why is this keeps popping up here? I don't want to see the program. Okay, there we go. YouTube, hello, how are you doing? It's been a long time. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Mr. Unknown Dual 4 VL. I'm doing great, man. I'm doing fantastic. Just trying to get myself set up here with all this live streaming craziness. Takes an insane amount of time to get set up, but I'm doing well. How are you? Refresh my memory on... I have to interact with so many people. I've forgotten thing. Did you are you in my school community? I don't know. I don't recognize the username. But thanks for asking. I'm doing great, and this is on YouTube. I am doing well. So I'm excited about today's. Oh, there we go. Okay, actually, I got one more thing here. Just make sure that the banner is working okay properly. There we go. Perfect. Okay, yeah. People can see the banner properly. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, just trying to get all these little pieces in place. I've been working on my live. I've been trying to get things sort of a little more organized, a little more professional, and try to give people more access and visibility into um, just look more professional, basically. So, yeah, I'm doing great, by the way. Okay, why does this keep popping up? Sorry, 1 second here. One second. I just keep. What? I don't know why this keeps popping up. I don't want to click finish. Finish would just end the chat, wouldn't it? No, see? Yeah, that's what it would do. So why do you keep popping up every time? I don't know why. Anyway, doesn't matter. I have not yet, as I've graduated recently, but followed you since the start. Hey, long time follower. Haven't think. Thanks. What are you graduating from? I'm just curious, and I'm happy to hear that you've been following me. I don't know why, but I'm happy to hear that you're following me. What are you graduating from? Why is this keeps popping up, man? What's going on here? Hang on a second. Why? I got this window that keeps popping up in front of my side-by-side full screen. Oh, it's so annoying. Okay, I'm just gonna shove it over in this corner here. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps popping up every time. Oh, I guess it's beta software, that's why. I have not yet. So what have you graduated from? Or what are you graduating from? Where are you graduating from? Answer all of the above. Let's go to my channel. So at least we could think from India. Okay, well, welcome. It's probably late over there for you. And where are you graduated from? Curious. Or what are you graduated from? Did my computer science engineer, but used to work as a freelancer. Okay, so entrepreneur in the house. Well, welcome, man. Welcome. And are you trying to build an app right now, or you got any ideas for an app? Are you doing any vibe coding? Well, you've probably been busy with exams and stuff like that, so that's probably what's been keeping you busy. But I'd be interested to know what you're actually building. Hey, look at this. I'm 99 videos away, from one video away from 100 videos. So good. Anyway, listen. I'm happy to hear that you've been following me for a bit. If you haven't already, please join the Skool community. I got 120 people inside of here, and I'm trying to get to 1,000. So I'm a little bit of ways from there. But it'd be nice to think. Oh, speaking of which, I didn't actually tell people that I'm actually live, which is the thing that I'm guilty most of not doing. So let me just send the link to my peeps in the Vibe community. And then, yeah, if you guys got questions, ask any questions that you might have. I'm live. Build in tree apps. Hey guys, I'm live today and I'm going to be working on building my lead score application, my financial application, and Snapsuite. So come join me. Let's chat, hang out, live life together. Okay, I should clean that up a little bit. Put the link, click add, and then I should clean that up on YouTube a little bit. So you said recently I've been doing good morning. Hey, good morning to you. Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing, Mr. ACOL2116. Man, you guys got some very creative names. Can you clean this up for me, please? Good afternoon. Okay, so hang on. Let's see what we got here. So you said recently tried to build a POS system, right, on Cloudflare, but was very hectic and for managing database and so on. So had to move to Superbase for backend and DB and using Cloudflare for hosting. I'm curious. So what was the problem? Like I mean, you have to go into all the details, but if you're building a POS system on Cloudflare, you should be fairly good. Cloudflare does have one problem though, is that it doesn't really do true like decimals. So there's no decimal system, and this is not really. I mean, it's SQLite thing. So there's a little bit of conversion that has to happen because all the numbers are stored as just integers, and then it does the conversion of decimals. So that's a thing, but I think if you're doing a POS system, you might be fine. I mean, Superbase is definitely a better system to build on because it's Postgres. Interested. But I presume you're using Cloudflare workers, and that's good. That's good. So POS system, if any particular market, like what market are you trying to build for? Slightly more polished version. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. That's all I wanted. Didn't need all the live vibe coded post weekly. La 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 la. There we go. Okay, but yeah, come join the community, man. Like it'll be good to see how you are and see how you're doing. Good afternoon, sir, Mr. AOL123. Sorry, refresh my memory. It's hard to remember all the people that I talk to every week. I got to come alive more often. But where are you from again, Mr. ACOL211? Just refresh my memory. But anyway, live, I'm happy to see you guys. I appreciate you guys just jumping in and saying hi and joining. We're going to talk about... So to be honest with you, I got a bunch of stuff to talk about, but I find out when I come on these lives now, I get so many questions that I've decided that, you know what, I'm just going to jump on the live and I won't have any formal thing to go over. We're just going to talk about stuff, things that are happening in the industry. We're going to talk a little bit about just what I'm doing personally from a vibe coding standpoint. I've been coding a lot, and I got a lot of thoughts about a lot of things, and I just haven't been able to put all those into video format. So we're just going to talk about it on this call, and then we're going to go from there. So let's see what Mr. Unknown is saying. So yeah, SQLite actually made it difficult and setting up auth myself without having the funds to invest in cybersecurity person looked impossible. Interesting. So, So have you tried Better Auth? Like, have you tried Better Auth? Because Better Auth, you don't need to pay for security per se. Auth. So, oh wow, they keep changing their website every day. So yeah, so Better Auth is probably it's the implementation for authentication that I would recommend if you're just starting out. Now, if you have a much more proper application, Better Auth is not the thing that I would recommend because there's a lot of other things around security that you need to kind of get right. And right now, they're not there. Better Auth is not there yet with it. Now, they're trying to bring out an enterprise level application for single sign-on, and there's a lot of things that you have to do like DDoS and login, and there's a ton of stuff around that the front end of Better Auth does not solve for. They know this and they're working on it, but it's just not theirs yet. So but yeah, no, definitely. I'd be curious to know if you tried Better Auth for Tor, although your video of Auth did help get an idea. Okay, so that's good. I'm glad I was able to help you out a little bit. So good to know. Mr. From Northern New Jersey. Oh, we got a New Jersey guy in the house here. The Americans. Welcome, man. Welcome. Um, yeah, I do recognize your picture. So no question about it. I recognize your picture. I just don't. I was like, where did I see this picture before? So I do recognize your picture. So anyway, what are we going to be talking about today? So like I said, I got random stuff that I want to kind of discuss. We're gonna pretend like the world is not burning on fire, and we're just gonna stay in our little safe zone and just kind of stay focused on the mission at hand, which is basically to build a better world that exists right now. So if I'm being honest with you guys, I've been spending a lot of time just watching the news, and frankly, it's very depressing. I'm not gonna lie, it's very depressing, and I tend to pay attention to what's going on in the world. And the last week, I've been finding it very difficult to stay focused on the things that I need to get done. So my productivity this week has just been low, like very low. Actually, I'm going to check it now because I actually didn't actually check it for the week. So let's see. So yeah, today I only worked 5 hours. Let's see the weekly view. So let's see what we did for the week. Okay, 50. All right, so I did 55 hours for the week. But in my opinion, that's low because I'm like 30% down from where I normally would be. And normally this score would be upwards of about 90, 85. I like to keep it around 85%. So for me, this is like, hey, you're slacking off. What the hell? Now, that being said, for the average person, this will be fine. And this is 55 hours of pure computer time, by the way. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, anyway, point is my hours have been down because I've just been focusing on all kinds of stuff. But yeah, hey, so I'm looking for tips for meta prompting LLMs. So, oh right, yes, you're the meta prompting guy. Yeah, you did mention this before, and we did have this conversation. I'm kind of vaguely remembering it. So, when you say meta prompting, like, what exactly are you trying to accomplish? Give me a little bit more insight. Was this the? Hang on a second. I'm vaguely remembering your conversation. Do you want it to do a meta prompting so that you can build? You're an IT guy, and you wanted to. It was a DevOps pipeline. Am I getting that right? Am I kind of in the ballpark? Let me just give me a year and a if I'm kind of, or one or a zero if I'm heading in the right direction. You were the DevOps guy, the DevOps IT guy that wanted to do it. I might be totally off base, but anyway, uh, yeah. Tell me a little more details about the meta prompting, and then we'll do a little bit of Q&A on that specifically. Two. How are my TikTok people doing? I got 4 people in the house. Good to see you guys. If you're new, welcome. If you've never heard of me, my name is Dwayne. I've been a software developer for about 20 years now. Damn, getting old. I gotta start dropping that number. Okay, so no, I'm completely off base. So okay, all right. So you're gonna have to give me an update on who you are. Then I'm new to all this. Okay. Fair enough. So I'm thinking about the wrong person. My bad. So okay, I'll give you some high level of meta prompting, and then you kind of ask your questions accordingly, and then we'll go from there. So first of all, for the people that are new to this, my TikTok people, if you are new and don't know what meta prompting is, we'll do a little double click on it so at least we understand all at a high level. And since you're new to this, then this will be a good kind of crash course about meta prompting. But it's kind of weird that you're asking about meta prompting and you're new to prompting. So you can't be too new to meta prompting if you're you can't be new to all this if you're asking about meta prompting. But let's do a deep dive into it. We'll answer some of your questions and we'll see where we're at, and then we'll double click accordingly. So so let's talk about meta prompting. What it is, why do you use it? What's the purpose of it? I'm gonna try to type a little bit because my pen is still not working and I still haven't solved this problem, even though I did change the tip. Of course it's not working. Why would it work, huh? So yeah, let's talk about meta prompting. So what is meta prompting? Let's do that. Let's put this up as a title so at least everybody know what we're talking about here. So what is META LLM? Okay, yeah, that's what we're talking about, guys. So at least everybody knows what we're talking about in case you're just joining in and trying to figure out what the hell is going on or what this guy talking about. He sounds crazy. So meta prompting is a very simple concept. So at a high level, let's draw some sticks and some frames and some boxes, the kind of thing. So there's a couple things. Okay, so this is the LLM here, right? Let's just pretend this is your LLM. And by LLM, I mean this is your large language model. So in other words, OpenAI or Claude or whoever, okay? So OpenAI or Claude or whoever, I don't know, Llama, right? Llama 3, let's just go as an example. Okay, so these are your LLMs, okay? Your LLMs kind of sit at this particular level. The LLMs are actually very, let's call them very stupid. They're smart, but they're kind of dumb. They don't really have any kind of memory or any context or things. So there's a few things that we have to do in order to make these LLM work. Because at its very basic, let's just talk about what an LLM is. And I won't go into too much of the technical stuff because it's not a technical, well, it kind of is. So it's more of a high level. But we'll talk about what an LLM is. So at least we have some foundational knowledge and then we'll kind of jump into the details. So at its very foundational level, right? If I say to you, oh, the weather is crappy outside. So let's say, yeah, sure, let's go with that. So let's say the weather is bad outside. Okay? Right? Let's say that. So let's say that this is the statement that I make, okay? If I take this and I put this into a large language model, like an LLM, if I just sent it into the LLM, it's going to try and complete this sentence. Okay, everybody with me? So it's going to say something like, let's copy this. It's going to say something like this. It's going to say like, the weather is bad outside. It's snowing, which it actually is right now. I'm in Canada, by the way. And I got up, I got a shock literally just today. I went upstairs, got a coffee, and I'm like, why is it snowing? I literally was looking at grass this morning and now it's snowing. So yeah, anyway, I digress. So this is what the LLM would do at its very, very core and its super basic level. This is all an LLM does. It literally just predicts the next word. Now, this could be any single thing. In my country, because it's snowing right now, maybe it knows where I am, so it might say it's snowing. For you, maybe in India, it might say it's raining, right? Maybe that's bad for you, right? Or, you know, if you're any other way in the place of the world, maybe it's a thunderstorm, right? Whatever, you get the idea. So it'll come up with multiple different answers. Now, let's go with, let's do one more. It's a thunderstorm. Okay, so and then what we'll do is we'll bring this down a little bit so we could. So what it's actually going to do, it really in the background, what it's really doing is it's just doing probability. So it might say, you know what, this is the word that they're looking for might be 60% that they're looking for a completion or a text completion that is snowing. Okay, it puts a percentage next to each potential thing that it's going to generate. This here, it might say, you know what, this might be let's say a 30% chance that it thing. And then this might be maybe a 2% chance, just as an example, okay? Just to make it kind of concrete for everybody. So this might be, let's say a 4% chance, whatever. It doesn't really matter the number. The point is, all an LLM doing is just predicting the next word in the sequence. And the way that it predicts the next word is a whole bunch of computational stuff, but it's very same at a very basic level. It's putting a probability, in other words, a percentage of what is the next word that it thinks it can generate to answer the question or complete the sentence or whatever it is, right? So again, going back to the example, I say the weather is bad outside. It says the weather is bad outside and it completes it by saying it's snowing, or it might say it's raining, or it's a thunderstorm. So that's literally what an LLM is. So now that you can kind of get that, you can steer it, right? Like I can say the weather is bad outside in the Caribbean. Okay, and if I say that, it automatically knows that, well, in the Caribbean, it's never going to be snowing. So the probability of that is very low. So it might take, let me take this as snowing. Okay, So it might take that and it's going to put it's snowing. Let's put this here, and it'll move that down probability wise, right? That's what it'll do. And it'll say, well, it's probably raining or it's probably thunderstorming. Okay, that's all it's doing. That's literally what the LLM is doing all day long under the covers. The difference is that it's doing it so damn fast that that you can't, you know, it just looks like magic. Okay, so it might be like this, right? Or it might be raining, might probably be the higher one in this particular case, right? Versus a thunderstorm, right? Anyway, either way, you get the idea. So it's like it's in the Caribbean. However, if I say, you know, the weather is bad outside in, I don't know, in Canada, right? It might just swap it to say, you know what, actually snowing is probably the right thing in this particular case. And so it swaps that. That's all a LLM is doing under the covers. So with that basics in mind, understanding that concept, okay, what you need to do when you're doing your prompting, okay, is, so you type something in the computer. So for example, you type in a text box. Let's go to ChatGPT for a second here. So actually, let's use the exact same example, okay? So we're gonna say the weather is bad outside, okay? All right, we're gonna do this. The weather is bad outside. So I'm gonna do the weather is bad outside. It says, yeah, kind of, yeah, that's kind of the weather can kill the vibes. Yeah, so right, so it might be a good day to stay in, get cozy, and knock out some blah 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 kind of deal, right? So how did it know to do that, right? Like, how did it know to do this? Like, what is it doing under the hood, right? So this is where the meta prompt kind of thing kind of comes in. So I said the weather is bad outside. Okay, I put that in a text box. We're going to put a box around it so at least we know where it is. So I enter the text box. Okay. This is my text box here. Okay. So I made I put it in a text box. Okay. And that text box, oops. Is that, yeah, okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay. That's my text box. Okay. So now that I have that, can I make it bigger, thickness? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there. Okay, cool. Right? So that's what I entered. Now, in behind the scenes, when I enter that, it's being paired. That text is being appended to or paired with a system prompt. Okay, and the system prompt, I'm going to make this up. I don't know what exactly the system prompt is, but this is what it might be like. It says, you are a helpful HELPFULASSISTANT assistant. Please be friendly to the user, okay? And help them where possible. Okay, that might be the system prompt that is underneath the covers. So with that in mind, all that was happening is when I take this, it's basically being paired together. So it's literally taking those two things, connect them together. Boo, 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 there we go. Put it in the box. Yeah, right? Putting this together. So I typed in the weather is bad outside. It typed in this, you know, this text here, okay? The system prompt. It pairs them together and it literally just shoves it into the LLM. Like this, right? So as a result, doing the exact same thing that we just did before, the probability, it just ran a bunch of probabilities and it came out back with, yeah, kinda, the weather's thing. And that's because I told it, I said, hey, you're a helpful assistant, be friendly to the user, and help them where possible. And it just knows that, you know, being friendly translates to, yeah, you know, responding in a nice, friendly way, because that's how it's been trained based on humans, the good humans, right? Like that's just how it's been trained. So that's all it is. That's literally what's happening under the covers. So now that you kind of understand that, jump in a little bit deeper into what a meta prompt is. A meta prompt is really just getting good at this part, like the system prompt. Hopefully that kind of help you think. Teach me how to make app. yeah, we're gonna do some a little bit of that as well too. Don't worry, I got you. Um, so that's basically what's going to happen, right? So what you need to be doing as a programmer, as a developer, etc., is you want to really think really hard about this system prompt. So let me give you a real world example, because I don't want to stay on the very entry level thing, because we got advanced people in here. So I'm building this app. The app that I'm building is called Affordly, which you guys can download it, by the way, if you want to. It's to help you track your money, track your finances, track your business, not business expense, your personal expenses along with your family, etc. Okay, so that's what the app does. All right. Now, when I'm going to sign in to a demo account here. By the way, for unknown, if you're still here, unknown dual 4 VL, this is using Better Auth authentication. Okay, so I have Google authentication set up here. When I log in here, I'm going to log in with my Dwayne Brown test account here. Okay, so all this is Better Auth, by the way, and with Cloudflare and with the LLM, you could do this in like 5 minutes. Okay, so I just uploaded a bunch of credit card transactions today into this system. So when I did that, there's a whole bunch of credit card transactions that I just uploaded, because like I said, I'm working on this app to make things a little bit easier. Let me just make it a little bit more visible for everybody. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to resize my screen. I'm sorry. Hang on a second. Let me just do that right now. Totally forgot to resize my stream. Sorry about that, guys. Did I miss any questions on TikTok? Let me just see while I'm jumping around. Check out my app. Which app is that, sir? Erie77. Send me the link to it. We could probably do it live. System. Just give me 1 second here. Let me just change my display so I can make things just a little bit bigger for you guys. It won't help a ton, but it so bring that up a little bit. So just a little bit better. Hopefully it's a little better for the mobile people. Right, and I gotta make sure now that out. Typical Mac. Their window and system is just horrible. There's no other word to describe it. So I have to just change the arrangement here to make it a little bit work for me. If these things don't touch, I can't move my mouse properly across my screen. It's the stupidest thing. So anyway, I digress. Right. So here, this is my app. It's a PWA, Progressive Web App, that is also an actual mobile app, but it's currently being approved in the App Store. So I'm showing it in the browser. Okay. Now, when I go to here and I click on My Documents, I have the ability to upload my transactions, a bunch of transactions into it. Let me just show you what those transactions look like, just so at least we know what I'm talking about here. So here. Okay. As you can see, I spent quite a bit on all kinds of random craziness. Okay, so these are real transactions. Okay, yeah, so these are transactions coming in. So what I want to do is, you see all this list of transactions here. I want proper names for them. Okay, so because the names here are horrible, right? Like, what the hell is, okay, Tim Hortons, I know. Atlassian, I know. Lemon Squeezy is what it is. Screen Studio, Microsoft, blah, 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 blah. Shell, this is a gas station, right? Zoom, Bolt. Like, I know these transactions, but I have to spend time. And we've all seen this on the credit card statement, right? Like, it's just really hard for you to dissect, like the line items, because they have all these cryptic line items. I think they're getting better with it, but for the most part, that's been a thing. So what do I want to do? I wanted to build an application that I could, one, upload some documents, aka my credit card transactions, into it. And then I want to have the system automatically categorize those transactions for me. So you see here, if I click on transactions, see, it's showing me Amazon, Blotego, Spotify, Google, Apple, Dialpad, Descript, Microsoft, Auth0, right? Like, these are all my transactions. So how did I do this? One is, okay, I built a meta prompt, right? So going back to the meta prompt, because that's what we're answering, meta prompt conversation here. So what did I do? First, just to give you some context on the app and how it works, is I uploaded the, how do I make this bigger? There we go. Yeah. So first, what did I do? This is the app, the file. Let's say this is the file. This is the app. Okay. The first thing I did is I upload the file into the application. The second thing that it'll do is it'll go through every single transaction, okay? And then I'm using like just pure programming logic, okay? So that I could just basically pull out every single line item and then insert it into the database. So that's pretty obvious. That's just programming stuff. But again, I got introduction people here, so I'm trying to be simple. So that's the one thing. The second thing, once it goes into the database, the second thing that happens is there's a background service that will basically go look at every single record, and then it's going to call out to an AI, LLM, right? It's going to call out to the AI, and it's going to say, can you basically read this text line item, right? So read this line item, you know, shell 8C21 blah 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 kind of deal, and can you give it a proper name and categorize it? So see here it says transportation, fuel, gas. Okay, so all I did was just took go back to my, where's my right? So what I did is I took my, let's just go back to the meta prompting. What is the prompt in this particular case? Programmatically, the prompt was the line item. So let's pick a line item here. So let's go with one that's a little bit more complicated. Yeah, okay. So programmatically, it was like Google CBC Gem Show. Okay, that's not very complicated, but we'll go with that one. So it's like Google. This is what the transaction was. Google CBC Gem Show. Okay. So I just happen to know that this is my, which I didn't even think I'm paying for still, but my subscription to CBC, because I'm in Canada, Canadian Broadcast Channel or Station or whatever, right? So my meta prompt is going to look something like this. It's going to say underneath the covers in the application, right? It's going to say, you are a financial, FINANCIL expert. Okay, review this line item for a credit card transaction and improve the description. Okay, that's my meta prompt. So behind the scenes, my application is going to take the line item, it's going to take the meta prompt, right? System prompt or meta prompt, we'll call it, right? And then it's going to send it over to the LLM, right? Which is obvious. Send it to the LLM. LLM is going to come back and give it a better format thing. And then it's going to say, the other thing I'm going to say is, and categorize it. Categorize it. Okay, let's just put it like that. So that's my meta prompt, right? Now, if I want to get fancy, what I might tell it to do is when you send me back the data, send it back to me in this format, JSON format. Right? So I might say, because I'm going to want to use that in my application. So I'm going to say category, and then I say transportation. Right? And then I'll say subcategory. In this case, it's what is it? TV show or entertainment, maybe. Actually, that's the other way around. Entertainment is the other. TAINMENT, and then subcategory might be what was it? News. Let's just go with that. Just as an example. This is an example, right? So that would be it. So I would say in the meta prompt, give me back the result in this format. Okay. And I would give a format in there. That's an example of a meta prompt. Does that make sense, Mr. Unknown? Why I asked about meta prompting? Okay, is because mine functions like textual base OS. So I decided to vibe code a couple versions as an agent. That sounds a little confusing to me. Why I asked about meta prompting is because my functions like a textual base OS. Okay. So I decided to vibe code a complete version as an agent. Okay, got you. Yeah, so okay, but the same principle applies. Like whether you're doing an agent or you're doing a application that somebody's typing in the prompt, right? The key is that you have to really just be thinking about what is the overall goal that you want to do for the AI, and then kind of break that down to a sub agent, right? So in other words, you might have, like, again, going back with my financial application as an example, you might have let's call it a master prompt. Okay, the master prompt's job is just basically to give the summary of the application, and then you might have what you call an orchestrator prompt, right? ATOR, orchestrator prompt. Okay, and then you might have underneath that, you'll have the agent prompt. Okay, agent 1, right? Agent 2, agent 3, etc. Okay, so what might that look like in the real world? Like, let's say this is a sales application. Okay, you might have a master prompt that basically is focusing on, hey, you need to generate sales. Then you might pass it to a sales manager that has a bunch of sales reps, and each of the prompt has very specific details related to its functionality, right? So that the delegation of the agent prompt does one thing. So this agent prompt here is a sales guy, right? And he might be a sales guy that's focused on LinkedIn, just as an example. Okay, this guy might be an agent that's focused on Instagram, right? Etc. You get the idea. Okay, hopefully that helps you out. Okay, so you got the meta prompt concept is really just a way for you to just think about breaking down the information into smaller chunks. So the best way that I could describe it to you is, what you want to do is you want to think of yourself as a manager of a company, and then the way that you would delegate tasks, let's say 3 or 4 levels down, is the way that you would literally do the same thing, but in code format. So each agent would be a very, very narrow agent, focus on a very narrow set of tasks that you would then chain up the ladder. Right? So my meta prompt is the brain. Yes. Here's an example. If one meta prompt senses plan, act, feedback. I'm kind of losing the train of thought of where you're getting at. My meta prompt is the brain. Here's an example. If one of my meta prompts sends plan, act, feedback. Not sure I get it. You'll have to give me a little bit more clarification on that statement. In the meantime, I'll come back to you in a sec. Teach me how to make an app. What kind of app are you trying to make, sir? Mr. Chad Steelheart. What kind of app are you trying to make? Oh, it's a loop. I see. Got you. I understand what you're saying. So, okay, let me ask you one other simple question. Have you done any have you built any app before, like at all? Do you have any experience building any app? You said you're new to this, but how new? Are we like brand new, day one new, or are we like, I've done a couple of experiments on a few other apps before? Because it sounds like I won't make any judgment. You answer the question for me, Mr. Akal. Make me an object compiler in Zig. Mr. Brad. That's too funny. An object compiler in Brad in Zig. I'm gonna go to the limb and say that's a little bit more work than I'd like to do on this stream. So funny. 6 months. Yeah, so I'm sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Brad, but I can't build a compiler for you, buddy, in Zig. It's just not gonna happen, right? There's some things that. Oh, hey, Mr. Vegas, thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. You could pay me in hearts, double tapping the screen. Thank you for that. So it just being pretentious. No, I hear you. I know you are. I know. But it's true though. Okay, so I want to kind of double click on your thought for a second. So you obviously know this because you're being pretentious and you're making a joke. But there's a limit to what you can do with the LLM. There's 100% certain. We all know this, right? It's gotten significantly better. So I've come to the conclusion of lately. So as I mentioned, I've been working on this Affordly app, be working on it pretty hard. I'm also working on my lead score application, which is basically a really in-depth application that you can add leads in here. See, I got 73,000 leads in this application right now. And then from there, I can make sales calls, do all the kind of stuff. And then I have a research section that I'm working on right now where the AI will go to do all the research, etc. So the LLM is really good at doing this kind of stuff. However, because this application is getting to a really large state now, I mean, large relative, right? It's like approaching like a million lines of code or something like that, but it's not like crazy large. What I'm finding that I have to do is I have to jump back into like my developer brain and work on like 3 or 4 files at a time and go deep on those things rather than like, try to like one shot an entire new feature. You can do it, but you have to kind of be very granular. So that's, this whole thing about like the compiler, I would say it's like if you've never built a compiler, and you know this, I'm sure, but it's just for the general public. It's like if you've never built a compiler, don't go try building a compiler with the LLM. You'll just fail, right? Because you don't know what you're doing. But if your world is building compilers and you know how a compiler should function, the LLM just gives you that much more speed in order to execute and build the thing. So it's not like you can't build a compiler with the LLM. You just have to be knowledgeable or at least have some kind of background foundational knowledge. So yeah, and to that point, I see a lot of senior, very, very technical developers that have been around for a while. There's like, oh, well, you can't do this with an LLM, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. And they're kind of missing the point of what an LLM does, or what AI programming is about. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, Heart. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. And welcome, by the way. Welcome to the live. I don't think I've seen you, Brad, before, or maybe I have. I don't know. Too many people. It's hard to keep up with all the people on the internet. And by the way, guys, for anybody that's new here, I gotta do my little promotion. If you haven't already, join my Skool community. We're slowly growing. We're slowly growing. I just lost a member. I just saw that. We're at 120 now. We're at 119. So people join in and out, right? But do join the Skool community if you haven't already. I'll drop the link in the chat. Free of cost. No, there's no money or any single thing. I'm not asking you guys to pay me a single dime, other than I just want to share knowledge and I want to connect with other people that are trying to build real serious application, and maybe we could learn a couple of things together. But yeah, Vegas, I appreciate you saying that you're learning from me a lot of stuff. So I appreciate you very much. All right, so what else do we want to talk about? You guys got any questions, or we could just kind of push through on a few other things? I got lots of things to talk about, but I'm kind of trying to stay community focused. So taking sort of the direction from where you guys want to go, and then just kind of riff about some of those things. But in the meantime, while the questions are coming in, or the thoughts are coming in, you guys are working on your thoughts. I'll share with you what I've been working on of recent, because there's just so many things I've been doing. I built out a DP. So I built this real estate application for a real estate project, and it's actually taken a life of its own because, again, for unknown, your unknown Joule 4 VL. This is also using Better Art System. And one of the cool things with Better Art System is you can do magic links. So you could just basically do a magic link. It'll connect to any sort of we call it email gateway system. Like, it just deals with authentication, very seamless, especially if you're vibe coding a lot of these projects. So anyway, so I've been working on this project here altogether. I'm gonna have to start like hiding some of this information. But anyway, these are just public properties, right? But it has a full property management system to manage properties, and now we're building a developer portal where you could actually upload the contractor, can upload their progress of, because these are like flipping properties, right? So they could upload their information and put like voice record their progress of what they've done on a daily basis. And I'm going to take that voice recording, transcribe it using Cloudflare backend API gateway, and then summarize it and then send it out as structured reports to investors on a weekly basis so that they get proper updates on what's going on. So this has been a fun project to work on because I'm learning a lot about the real estate application side of things. Mr. DJ Clay, intro next. Can I incorporate a mailing system like Gmail for my internal company use? 100%. So when you say internal, let me just make sure I get that. Incorporate a mailing system like Gmail for my internal company use. So let me see if I understand that question correctly. So incorporate a mailing system, you got that part, like Gmail for my internal company use. So what you're suggesting to me is you just want a private mail system, like not so that mail system is close to your company and not externally. I guess my question would be why. And you said you have your website up. Drop it in here. Let's go look at it, man. Let's go look at it live. If you don't mind being embarrassed, I'm just kidding. If you don't mind me critiquing it, drop it in here. But what I'm trying to understand is, are you trying to just do a internal company email system? Like, in other words, the email communication does not leave the network? Or are you just trying to build a similar tool to Gmail? And if you are, my question would be why. The only thing I could think about there, based on what you're telling me while you're answering the question, is if you're doing like an internal ticketing system, right? Just trying to build your own ticketing system to manage like tickets. I could see that, all right? And to be honest with you, all the answers to your question is yes. I'm just trying to get why, because I'm trying to figure out the business case for it, right? One of the things that I want to do with you guys and make sure that everybody understands on this call or that's in this live right now is that I don't want you to just build things for the sake of building things. Okay? There's no point in just building a bunch of stuff just because it needs to be solving a couple of things. Either one, it's going to save you time. Two, it's going to save somebody else's time and they're going to make money from it and therefore you're going to make money from it. Or three, it's doing some social good or something for the world and, you're trying to put it out there to kind of get some benefit for you. Like, do not build tools for the sake of building tools because it's going to save you $20 a month subscription. All right. Now, if you're like me, I just imported one of my credit card statement and it showed that I spent like $15,000 on subscription. I'm like, yeah, some of these tools I need to cut 100%. So hang on, let me just read your question here. I want them to use the company domain with their name, like responding to clients. Oh yeah, that's easy. Okay, yeah, okay. So then you could just use Gmail for that. Like the question is, why wouldn't you use Gmail? But the answer to your question is yes. So for example, let me be a little more specific to your answer. Okay, so I'm building for me personally my extended family on my mom's side is called Trotman. So I'm building a family reunion app that's called TrotmanFamily.org. Okay, and it has a whole login system and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't matter what the app does. The point is that I want to be able to send out email communication to my family in this particular case under the domain name of Trotman Family. So to do that, you could use a service like Mailgun. This is the one that I normally use. Because you can register the domain name with Mailgun. You could have one Gmail account or whatever. You could register the domain name with Mailgun, and then you could set up your the email address in there. So let me just do this, and then let me do Trotman. Oops. Yeah. So here, right? So TrotmanFamily.org. And then you can set up the email address inside of here, and then from there you could send out emails from like that domain name, which is what I think you're getting at, right? The other alternative is, obviously you could do this with Gmail, so you could just basically just set up a Google Workspace account, and then you could use this would be the simplest way to do it. You could use Gmail SMTP to be to settings, and then you could just programmatically send out emails from that using your Gmail SMTP settings. It'll send out on you from the same domain name. Does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. I made a website from last week's session. Oh, did you? Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, drop the website in the chat. Let's look at it, man. We'll critique it live. But I'm happy to hear that you actually made a website. That's cool. Did you use Lovable, or I don't know if I don't think I remember the conversation, but I do remember you. But I don't know if I mentioned Lovable, but if you haven't, try that out. So, but that's good to know. But yeah, no, to answer your question, that's very basic. So I understand what you're trying to do. So I should put some tutorials like that on my website. You know what? Make sure you're in the community, which I think you are. I don't remember now. But if you aren't, join the community and then message me inside of there, and I could give you some more specific details on what to do, step-by-step kind of deal, to get that going. So let's let me get a chat. I'll put it in the chat just in case you're not inside of there. I don't remember now. All right. Who else has any more questions for me? But yeah, drop your website in there, man. It'd be good to check it out. Let's see what else we got. Any other questions? Corporate, let me just double check. Great work, learning, got that. Making an object compiler, got that. What if someone is transaction or duplicate? Oh, sorry, I missed this question, but I'm going to answer it. So, Chacha, CHA. What if the transaction are duplicated? How does it handle exceptions? Very, very good question. So I presume you're talking about this application. So, so to answer your question in very basic format, every single time you upload, there's a couple ways that I'm dealing with that, because that's exactly what the biggest problem is. You could duplicate transactions. So there's a few ways that it deals with it. This is actually a really good question. I'll double click on it. So if you have going back to the situation here where you have a file, right? Come on. Yeah. So this is my CSV file. Okay. So the CSV file, when you upload it into the system, how do I get more shapes? A gear. Okay, let's just get a gear. Come on, go away. Unlock. Okay, I gotta upgrade just to get a gear. Yeah, okay. So here, you upgrade. So in the system, upgrade. So system. Okay, the first thing the system will do is it'll get a what we call in computer world, if you're not familiar with it, it's called a hash. Okay, so HASH. And the concept of a hash was a really complicated thing for me to start. So I'll kind of explain it to you for non-technical people what it is basically. Okay, without going into the science of it, just the overall concept, right? So what happens is when you upload the file, let's call it a hash is equivalent for non-technical people. Think of it like a fingerprint. All right, your fingerprint is unique to you, the individual. And so when I upload a document, that document you can mathematically create or generate a fingerprint. And what does it look like? It literally just looks like this. That's a hash, okay? It's just a bunch of random strings. Now, the cool thing about it is that the way how it's calculated is that you can, from whether the original document can always get can always generate the hash. But if you have the hash, there's no way to get the original document. Does that make sense? So a good example of this is that when you're, let's say you have a password. So if I have password, PASSWRD123 monkey, right? Because that's what we do, right? We put, stupid passwords, right? So if I have a password like this, okay, I can have my system generate a hash, right? And that hash might look like, whatever that is, right? So that's the hash code here. There's no way for me to get this hash and reverse it to get 123. It's a one-way directional hash. So the cool thing is, what you do, this is how you store things securely. In a database, you would store this hash as a hash in a database, right? This is just how you store passwords. So you store the password as a hash, And then what happens is every single time somebody types in monkey123, you run it through the same piece of code, and that code would basically generate the same hash key, and then you compare the hash key. When you do that, then you're able to figure out whether whether it's the right password, and then allow the user in. Okay, so you never store the actual password as clear text. So in other words, if somebody hacked this database, they don't know what the password is still, right? So that's kind of the thought process. So once you understand that concept, that's how the files are uploaded. So when I upload a file, the system generates a hash specifically for that file. So if I try to re-upload the same file, it will tell me, it'll go compare the hash. It'll be like, hey, this file is the same file. Now, what's cool about it is that if I change literally one letter here, let's say I just changed from monkey to like 4, this is a completely new hash. It's not even like close. It's like a completely random string. It's so crazy. It's one single letter or a period or a dash completely giving me a completely different string. And that's the key, because it means that if any single thing specifically in this file, even if it's an extra comma that changes, the hash will be completely different. Therefore, there'll be completely different documents. So that's one layer. The second thing that I do is on each line item, I actually maintain a hash as well too. So for every single individual record, I maintain a unique stamp of it. So therefore, I could compare, because it's possible that I could have 2 different transactions from 2 different statements. In other words, I could have like a statement CSV1, and let's say I have a CSV2, right? But to make it more realistic, let's say that this one here ranges from like Jan to March, right? But then this CSV I import, and then it's only January, right? Obviously, I would have a duplicate. Okay, so the hash wouldn't catch that, because it's only a file hash, meaning that it's on the file level. So I have a hash on the individual transaction level to catch those type of duplicates and then bring it to the user's attention. And then there's a third hash, which would be if the line item, let's say the description is different, but the total and the date is the same. So let's say I have 2 transactions that are on the 20th of March. The application would bring that to my attention and then ask me, the human being, whether whether this is a duplicate or not. Right? So that's kind of how I'm treating that. So hopefully that makes some sense to you. I've dropped it. I didn't see it, Mr. DJ Clay. I encrypt mine twice to be nice. Yeah. Good. Yes, 100%, man. Yeah, you gotta be secure. So now the truth is that Better Opt kind of solves all these problems, so I don't even think about this stuff anymore. And for any newbie out there, do not try to write your own any of this type of stuff. When it comes to security and best thing, do not write your own, okay? Leave it to the professionals. And by professionals, I mean not me, okay? Because I'm not a professional. But yeah, anyway, hopefully I answered your question, Mr. Where was that question? Mr. Chacha. So let me just see if I miss any other questions before we continue here. Check out my app. You didn't put your app, buddy. haven't seen it. And encounter your viewers. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm all caught up on the questions. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I see it. So let's see. It's okay. I'll do it off stream just in case, you know. So ETYANGBUSINESS.com. Oh, there we go. Look at you, man. Looking sharp. Not bad of a website. It actually looks pretty good. Yeah, this actually looks pretty dope, man. It's very well done. Why turnkey Africa is the next major access. Hey, $5.4 billion. Get me in on some of that. Seriously. You know, I've been legit thinking about trying to figure out how I could expand into Africa. Okay, so here's my very, very quick synopsis. I like your photo. I like what you've done here. It's actually pretty cool. This me nitpicking here. This is a little bit too jammed up against the header. And this is a little bit too jammed up against the footer. You need a little bit more padding space for these 2 buttons that are here. I'd probably make the call to actions a little bit bigger as well too. If you're doing call to action, so you see here, start a strategic consultant, right? it blends in too much with the green color. So I would actually put this in like a red or a green or orange or some other not green, or a very light green or something. So it just kind of gets away from this background color a little bit because it's a call to action, right? What you really want to do is you want to have your call to actions completely separate from like the sort of color scheme, the overall color scheme on your website. And these two, when I look at them, they have the same weight, right? Like this is strategic and then this is explore. So now I don't know which one to click on, right? I want to be clear. I'm nitpicking here, but I'm just telling you from a marketer standpoint how you would think about this stuff a little bit, right? So you would want to de-emphasize one of them. So in other words, make one button big, the other one very small, or like just like a text, so that you could kind of click on it. Let me see if we could find like an example of that. What was a good website I could check? Mailgun, maybe MailChimp. CHIMP, MAILCHIMP. I haven't been to MailChimp in ages, so I don't even know if this is a good example, but I'm gonna try. Oh, here. Let's see if we could think. Right, okay, so here. So you see what they did? They put sign up, right? The sign up button is like really big, and the login button, like, because they want you to click on these two. These are the two buttons that they want you to click on. So I have very clear visibility on what is the next thing that I should be clicking on, right? Depending on my motivation. Every single thing else is just kind of text based. And then somewhere here, you should see another call to action if I'm thinking about this right. Let's see. Yeah, here, right? Call to action down at the bottom, same kind of green, right? So that's the only feedback that I kind of give you at a high level is just you would want to just make that button sort of very separate from the rest. Otherwise, this is a very beautiful website, man. Like fantastic job. It's very, very professional, well done. And you might want, let me see, industries. Okay, there we go. It was just taking a little time to jump in. Yeah. Well done, man. Well done. And then this, oh, I see. This is why you're asking me about the domain name. So to do this, the best thing to do, the easiest thing to do is get a Google Workspace domain email address, and then that'll solve the problem, right? In fact, you could actually get a Google Workspace email address for free. I think they have that still, GOOGLE, work, SPACE. I think the first one is still free for individuals. Oh no, 14 days trial now. Yeah, I think they changed it. Now you can't do a basic one anymore. But it's worth the money for sure because it'll just be that much more professional, and then you don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. But otherwise, great job. Cloudflare, just as a heads up for other people, Cloudflare is going to be bringing in Cloudflare email support. So that's something that you might want to look into, but it's more for it won't be for what you're trying to accomplish. Go with the Gmail, make it simple, and then yeah, good. But good job, man. Good job. Pretty impressive. Glad you were able to get that done. And by the way, I'm just curious, which platform did you use to build that out in? Kind of looks like a Lovable website, but I'm not certain. Might be something else. Okay, what else we got? Any single thing else here? Yeah, no problem. No problem for sure. Since okay, hang on. So since I want to vibe code, so the hash is like a lineage, kinda. Yeah, kind of. But anyway, the point is that this hash implementation here, Lovable. Yes, that's what I thought. I thought it was a Lovable website. It looks like a Lovable. Lovable is actually really good with design, but very, very, very well done. So, and I take it it's running on Cloudflare, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully, hopefully you're not paying for it, because if you are, then I haven't done my job as a promoter of Cloudflare. So anyway, listen, man, I'm just happy to hear that you guys are yes, it's running on Cloudflare. Good to know, man. I'm really happy to hear that. Super, super happy to hear that. I'm just happy that I could be a promoter of Cloudflare and they're not paying me a single dime. Go figure. So someday we'll have to change that, though. Cloudflare is going to have to start paying for all the work that I do for them. So okay, cool. What do we talk about? Let's jump into talking about some other stuff. So let's jump a little bit more on the advanced side, shall we? For some of my more technical people in the house. All right. It's hard kind of figuring out like what's the thing that you want to talk about when you got such a vast audience. So I've been working, as I told you, on this application here. I mentioned the hash. I answered some of those questions, etc. around that. A couple things I've been kind of so let me pull up my actual application. Do. Can I get another breakdown of Cloudflare? Sure, man. 100%. Yeah. Not a problem. Let me give you a guideline. So first, I'll tell you before I even jump in to answer your question. But I'll give you an overview of Cloudflare. If you really want to know a good overview of Cloudflare, first of all, join my community here. And I have in my classroom under Cloudflare 101, I have an overview of Cloudflare altogether. That'll give you a pretty good overview of Cloudflare. And if you're not in the community, you could go to my YouTube, and I have this video here, why Cloudflare wins. I'll drop it in the chat for you, so at least you have it in as your kind of a backup record. But yeah, let's give you a little overview of Cloudflare. I'm happy to do that for you. So what's Cloudflare? Why is it working? Why is it so important? Like Cloudflare is Cloudflare. The way how I describe Cloudflare is like it's like the hidden secret of the internet. First of all, this is a very high level. It accounts for 20% of the world's internet traffic. I think they're claiming between 20 and 25. That's a lot. Okay, they're as important as Iran. Okay. We'll keep politics out of this. Yeah. So the reason why it's important is because and why I promote Cloudflare heavily is because Cloudflare does one thing really, really well. They built an insanely fast network that is super, super lightweight and efficient. Because they're coming from a security background, like security is their number one thing. Actually, I'll tell you a little story just to give you some context. So, to give you some context. So, when Cloudflare got their start, this is for people that don't know much about Cloudflare. So, when Cloudflare got their start, at the very, very early days, the CEO, the owner of the company, his name is Matthew something, and he got a call late in the night, like, I don't know, midnight or something, his time. He's sleeping, wake up, pick up the phone. This guy calls him. This guy's like, hey, man, I really need your help. I just need, my website is getting attacked. We're under attack right now, and I just need some help to just like block it and secure it. And Matthew, being the owner, he's like, yeah, just go on the website and just sign up. Like, why are you calling me? He's like, no, you don't understand. We're on a massive attack right now, and we absolutely need some service. Like, we just need some help. And Matthew's like, yeah, man, just go online. Just sign up for the $20 a month plan, and it'll help you out. And he's like, that's it? He's like, yeah, just sign up for the $20 a month, and you should be secure. So the guy did exactly that. Okay. Next day he goes into the office. Matthew goes into the office, and they're like, hey, did you do something last night? Did you just like sell a big company or something? They're like, no. Well, like, why? And the guy said, this is the developers at Cloudflare. They're like, yeah, no, the traffic just spiked like crazy last night. Like we had like insane amount of traffic, and he's like, oh, is that a bad thing? Like, was there a problem? They're like, no, we're just curious because of the traffic spikes. And he's like, oh, actually, yeah, that guy did call me last night and did say that he was going to sign up for the servers. I presume that he did, right? And that was the end of the conversation. Fast forward a little bit later, it turns out that the site that the guy signed up was for an escort website. So, escorts, right? Like hookers, whatever. And this was in Turkey, I think it was. So this escort website was being attacked, okay? And they basically signed up because they were being hacked, whatever. Later on, it turns out that the people that were hacking them, this is the most funniest thing, the people that were hacking the escort website was some sort of church community or some sort of do-good community, whatever you want to call them, right? And they didn't like this escort website, the fact that they were having all these hookers and every single thing. So they literally hired people to hack this website. And Cloudflare, instantly just, like, that was it. They just put them behind a firewall, and that was the end of that. So it turns out that Cloudflare got their start because word spread, this one, escort website. It's like, hey, man, you got to be behind Cloudflare because it's just fantastic. And they literally, like, got all of the, like, maybe today this is probably true. They probably got all of the escort website on their network. So anyway, that's a backroom story for you how Cloudflare kind of just went crazy in the early days. And since from those early days, they made a position that they're never going to take sides on the internet. They're just going to just do the thing that they do best, which is protect your website. Like they're not the ones that are like making the choices. And it turns out that the CEO of Cloudflare is a lawyer, so I think he's really good at knowing like what's legal and what's not kind of deal. So they're like, yeah, you got a website, we just protect it. That's all we do. So now that you kind of get a little background about that, oh yeah, same thing in the church hackers escort. Yeah. Yeah, it's the craziest thing, right? It's like, can you imagine having like a church like just going after you? So listen, you know you're doing something bad when the church decide to hire a hacking group to hack you. Okay, I don't know how true the story is, but that's the story that I heard from Matthew, and I'm like, I'm just sharing it, passing it on to you guys. So yeah, but anyway, the point is that Cloudflare is extremely good at protecting networks, and the real question is why and how did they do it? And I'll give you sort of a high level, and then we'll kind of dig into some other stuff. But at a very very high level, okay, if you were to think of this as the world, right? This is the US and this is like North America thing here. They have just super, super small, we'll call them servers for this conversation, but they're not servers. They're just like really small workers. So think of them as like small Chrome tabs because they literally use the Chrome browser engine as their foundation. And then they built this sort of like web browsing, web framework on top of it. So just think of it like that. And basically what it is like if you're a hacker, right? And you kind of try to jump in on one of their networks, you have to hit one of these nodes first before you get to their node. And so what this system will do, because it's so super small and lightweight, is it's going to do all the filtering, sorting, and figuring out whether you're a good person or not, right? So anybody that tries to hit their network, you have to go through these really, really small nodes first. And so that node can kind of do all the filtering before it even hits the main network. Like, so let's say your server is here as an example. So it has to go through this network first before it hits your website. And that's just how they protect the entire internet at a very, very, very high level, obviously, right? So it's extremely, extremely fast because these nodes are super, super lightweight and they're really, really globally distributed. And so when you, as a developer, build a website, what happens is, let's say you put the website out here, for example, Cloudflare will automatically replicate it to all of the other nodes globally, independently. You don't have to do this. You don't have to think about this. It just happens behind the thing. So whenever you do a deployment, Cloudflare gives you global distribution instantly. And that's the magic of it. But the key difference is that it's not using like a full server. Traditional web applications, they use a full web server, or in the modern world with AWS and Google, they use like functions. So they use like a virtualized server, if you will. But with Cloudflare, it's literally a Google tab. This is the only way I can explain it to you, okay? So when you open up a Google tab, just how fast that is, that's what Cloudflare is using as their technology under the hood to serve up a web page. So it's just extremely light, extremely fast, extremely efficient, and that allows them to be able to just do stupid pricing that nobody else can match in the industry. And that's because they did the work to do that years ago. So this worker is now serving up web pages, web applications. It's doing firewall detection. It's doing a whole bunch of stuff under the covers. And that's why they could give you like 300,000 requests per month, for $5, plus a database, plus an unlimited. Like, it's just insane amount of value that they could give you for that squad. This is why I promote Cloudflare. That being said, the downside is there's just a little bit more learning curve to kind of get on their platform. And that's because I just think that they haven't mastered the art of simplifying their platform as yet, right? So it's not as easy as Vercel. If you go to Vercel, super easy. But if you go on Cloudflare, a little bit more complication, but they're working on it and it's getting simpler by the day. So that's my reason for promoting Cloudflare. Hopefully that kind of gives you a little bit of overview. Let's see. While I built a agent, I know I have a cloud server with an API. So let me just see where I can. So the hash is like a thing. Yeah, okay, got that. While I build my agent, I ended up with while I ended up with a cloud server with an API. Yeah, to be honest with you, AOL, ACOL, I got like you got to give me some more context. Your description is a little bit too vague for me to be able to truly understand what is it that you're doing. Tell you what to do. I don't mean this in an insulting way, but take your message, drop it in an AI for me, tell it to clean it up, and then drop it back to me, just so I could get sort of the gist of where you're getting at. Because it's I'm a little bit confused by where you're getting at. Because you're saying, well, while you built an agent, now I have a cloud server with an API, but it just didn't. I get what you're saying, but I don't understand the details of where you're trying to get at, right? So, think, hey, I, uh, uh, geez, pronouncing it wrong. AJFE, what's up? I'm doing good, man. Sorry I butchered your name, but I'm doing great, doing fantastic. Just hanging out here with, I don't know how many people we got. We got a few people on the stream now, so doing pretty well, doing pretty well. So yeah. Anyway, what's the name? Delgato X. Hopefully, I answered your question. Hopefully, I did. And hey, if you guys are getting some value, just do me a favor and just double tap on the TikTok screen, just so the TikTok gods can bless me. That's all I ask for. Double tax and thumbs up on YouTube. If you could give me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. That would be great. And it's Founder QL. We talked before. Yes. I remember your FE. Yes. I remember. And by the way, your website was pretty fantastic. By the way, DER. I was on it. FOUNDR IQ. Yes, this one here. Yeah, this is a really cool website. Like, I had so many questions for you when I kind of left, because I was like, whoa, this is actually pretty cool stuff, man. And it's doing quite a bit. But I was like, so you clearly have built some things before, right? Like, is this your first SaaS app? I really like this. This was good. Founding members built. Yeah, so it was kind of like what I would describe it: ID validation, AI co-founder, Twitter Studio, storefront, courses, content. So the question that I had for you was, who is your target audience? Like, who is your primary target audience for this? Like, it's kind of coaches. I get that, coaches and educators kind of market, but do you have a specific clientele that you're going after? It's been in development for 15 years. What? No. I've been a developer for 15 years. Okay, but you, yeah. Okay, so that's why you, because this looks very polished. You clearly know what you're doing, but not necessarily on the got you. So that's my first question to you. Who is your actual target audience? Because I know what this is doing. I know that this is solving a real problem. In fact, for me, this would probably solve a real problem. I'm using school as a community, but I like the direction of this and the thing that is there. So your sequence is ready, email optimization for a percent over rate. Yeah. So it's an all-in-one platform for coaches and educators, which I get. The real question is, though, who are you going after first? Okay. So that's probably the most important question that you got to ask yourself, especially if you're starting out with this thing, because while it does a lot, you got to start with digital marketers, coaches that so digital marketers, yeah, coaches starting out. Got you. Okay, so you already have, and how far are you along on the actual product itself? Like, which, and to be honest with you, even if it's not fully ready, you could still sort of start pushing a little bit. So what I would do, I would actually, how far are you? I'm just curious, how far are you with the product itself? Let's see. Total disclaimer, reverse barrier. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I would get rid of all these disclaimers, like get rid of the disclaimers. The disclaimers are for your 90%. Okay, man, you're farther ahead. Yeah, get rid of the disclaimers, right? Like, disclaimers are for terms and conditions. Okay, that's why we have terms and conditions that nobody reads on your marketing website. Don't put disclaimers. Okay? Marketing is marketing. Disclaimers is disclaimers, which is basically terms. 90% ready, so that's good. So the next question is, do you have any beta users on the platform? at all. And while I think, why don't you, let's put you on the spot. Let's see here. Get started for free. So I'm gonna log in here. So I'm gonna go with my Dwayne Unfinished. Actually, let's do it to Google. We'll do Google, and we'll do Dwayne Unfinished, and then founder allow. There we go. Fantastic. Log in. Okay, let's see what we got here. So what brings you here? Help us personalize experience. So validate my startup ID, grow an existing business, learn entrepreneurship. Let's go with learn entrepreneurship. Why not? Experience. I'm gonna say I'm some experience. Yeah, this is cool, man. Your first priority. So develop my idea, find my first customers, build my product. So I'm gonna go with find my first customer. How did you find Founders IQ? From the owner. I got a direct connection with that guy. Friend or colleague, the owner. That's funny. And then, okay, say secure. Quick tips to get your account safe and safe. Yep, got you. Okay, your first win. Brainstorm customer growth. Let's go, baby. Analyze. Okay, so brain dump. List every single thing on your mind. Let's see. Okay, first of all, I'm trying to start a personal brand. Secondly is I'm trying to figure out like what is my strategy for LinkedIn. And third is I'm trying to think of come up with a YouTube channel and what content and what sort of cadence I should be posting in. All right, let's go with that. Classify my actions. Calm mentor. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's do that. What site again? Sorry, what's this site again? So, are you talking about my site or you're talking about this Foundry site? So this site here is one of the guy that's right above your head. There's about 34 users. Okay, that's good. Hey, that's good, man. That's fantastic. So any paying customer yet, or just 34 sort of on the free tier right now? And or if, unless you're asking for my site, Mr. Electric. If you are asking for that, this is the link here. HTTP s:// Dwayne. I'm giving you a link to the school community. That's what it is, just in case you're asking for that. 34. Any paying customers, Mr. Fe. Aji Fe. I think that's how I pronounce it or say it. So, okay, great. I'm trying to figure out what strategies I should use for LinkedIn. Let's see. So, analyze my top most successful creator in your niche. Sure, let's do that. Create a 10. Create a. Oh wait, hang on. Are these my to-do items? Oh, yes. These are okay. I'm trying to figure out what my strategy is for LinkedIn should be. So analyze the task effort. Okay, it's low impact. Okay, that's today. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Draft a weekly post this week. Cool. Okay, so I got a little bit of to-do list. Understood. Influence. So casual. Now, okay, so I'm with you. You're telling me the to-do list action item, which is what I have to do, which is fantastic. Now my question is, generate a plan. Okay, so create a action plan. So AI will analyze your business and create a personalized plan for a weekly basis. Okay, describe your business. I help entrepreneurs and developers figure out how to launch their first product and gain their first set of customers in the first paying customer in 90 days. Let's go with that. And then what are your main goals? My goal is to basically get to my first $500,000 by the end of the year. Let's go with that. Generate. This is cool, man. Now I could see that it's heavily designed for mobile, which is great because, you know, we live in a mobile first world. But So let's see what we got here. So weekly action, accelerate to your first 500,000. So secure your first paying customer, develop a clear, compelling, identify whatever. So these are the tasks. Okay, so only feedback here with these tasks is, now let me just do it in mobile format just to kind of see what it looks like. Hang on. Okay, a little bit better, but it feels very clouded to me, right? Like like it's good. It's just that it would be good if each task has a clear title, like a 2 or 3 word title before the description of the line item, and just a little bit more space in between. This is me nitpicking here because my brain just works on a very split. But I love the really large checkbox button because it's just fantastic. It's just very easy to just check off, and obviously for your thumbs it'll be much better if you're on a mobile. But yeah, I would just put a sort of like a title for each task so it's just kind of clear, and then you could kind of expand it just so you can, it doesn't too much visual clutter, right? Because it's a lot of text to kind of read, because I can kind of click through on the ones that I want and just expand them. But this is neither here nor there. I'm just nitpicking on some UI stuff. And then tap to use your voice. So let's see. So here, so voice coaching. Okay. Hey, how are you doing? Recording. Hello. Tap the microphone to start. Yeah, I did that. I wish I could share mine, but it's local host. Mr. Square, because I see a square by your name. Yeah. You know what? You just gotta you push it to GitHub, and we could get that working. And by the way, this is a FYI for you and anybody else out there. If you use a service like ngrok, you could actually get your local host out to the internet. So NGGROK. So ngrok will get you there. This is the easiest, simplest service to use, and there's a free tier as well too. So ngrok will allow you to actually route traffic straight down to your, see here, from localhost. So just a heads up for you. So no excuse here, buddy. We got solutions for every single thing around here. And then if you don't want to do that, you could use Cloudflare Tunnel, Tunnel, which is significantly more secure, but it's very simple to set up. It's actually pretty simple to set up, and this will actually do a route down to your local host kind of deal, where you could get, basically it'll give you a public domain name, and you can route it down to any local computer securely using Cloudflare as sort of the front end. So check those two out just in case. So yeah, like I said, no excuses here. You get that set up, we can rock and roll. So sorry, let me go back to where are we? Hang on. Yeah, you're right. So, oh, sorry, I was doing the voice thing here. So, damn it, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. So, I'm your AI coach. Get ready. Hey, how are you doing, man? You code $0 in revenue, 0 product. You have one weekly plan. I like the AI coach now. Hey, can you hear me? Did I allow it? While using microphone now, yeah. Allow testing 1 2. Yeah. Okay, so you're hearing me. Hey, testing 1 2. No. Voice here, damn it. Yeah, no, it's okay. So it's hearing me. Got it. Okay, so it's just I see. Okay, I see. Okay, fair enough. Cool. It's not very, so see, that was kind of confusing just as a feedback, because that red was suggesting that it's not working, but it is working. It's just, it's a visual indicator that is recording, but it's flashing in red. If you know what I mean, like it's not a clear visual indicator to me. And if you're curious, this is more like thing. Live Kit, they just brought out a Live Kit. If you want to really get fancy, don't do it for this particular iteration. Just want to be clear, but in the future, Agent UI, okay? Because you could go down a rabbit hole with this stuff. So Agent UI Live Kit will allow you to do this kind of stuff in your app now. Isn't that cool? So here, so you could see here, so you could do like, let's see, Ask Agent, see that? And then look, see, hey. I'm not too familiar with it. What, how does it work? What does it do? Hello? Okay. She's a little bit thing. Anyway, see here, you could do waves, you could do Radel, You could do Grid. They just launched this like a week ago, so it's pretty new. It's pretty early days, but highly recommended. Hang on a second here. So yeah, definitely check this out if you want to get some visuals in the in the in the application. It'll kind of take care of some of that stuff. But again, don't do this for first launch. Okay, I just want to be clear with this. Developers, specifically you, because you're a developer for 15 years, so you got some experience, are guilty of adding more complexity. So your app is fine. I'm just giving you some high level feedback. I just want to be clear with that because I don't want you to go saying, Dwayne said I got to rebuild this whole thing from scratch. Do not do that, please. But what you want to do is just basically get that early feedback and just kind of just put it in a backlog. And then as you start getting more and more feedback, you'll just kind of work on those very specific things. The most important thing is the marketing. Okay. And I want to be clear with this. Most apps fail because they haven't figured out how to acquire users to their platform. So do not spend too much time on the functionality itself. Overall, though, I will say this is a pretty darn good experience. Like, I like it. I really, really do. It has all the pieces, and it has sort of the core. The only single thing that I'll say is, see, while I'm in here now, like I'm looking at templates, I'm looking at libraries, I'm looking at assets. I kind of still don't know what's my next step thing. So you had that you had the plan, right? But now I'm on the home page now. Like I'm on the home page and it doesn't say like, hey, you were on step 1 of 10 or step 2 of 5, right? So I'm like, I have to kind of like explore to figure out where to continue. So that would probably be my only suggestion at this particular point, right? Because it's very clear that you can do more stuff with it, right? But I just don't know. And you had that checklist, but now I can't find back the checklist, right? Let me come back here just for a second here. So let me see, is there a checklist in here? No checklist in here. So back up. Where is that checklist? Template. No, right? So I'm just filling things out right now. Analyze. So that's fine. Create. Yeah, my checklist is gone. Right? So that would be my feedback. All organic traffic, 34. Hey, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. 34 users in a month. So that's fantastic. So you're onto something. So I would say double down on content, right? Create a TikTok. If you don't want to do TikTok because you're not comfortable in this video format, go to Reddit and just go to Reddit and just start connecting with people and then DM them on the side for your group. And if you really want to, I found this site. It's called Subsonar. Actually, let's do it. Let's do it live. So Subsonar, what's your website? Your website is this here. If you take this Subsonar, this guy here, I found him online. He is vibe coded website, by the way, as well. So if I put in your website in here and I do try for free, it's going to go to Reddit. It's going to read your website first, analyze your website, figure out what your website is about. And then it's going to go find people on Reddit that have questions about the same thing that your website is related to. And then you could message those people, or you could think, and then, you could do credits or whatever. But see here, so analyze your website, and then it's going to go try to find actual people that are talking about the problems that you're solving for. This is probably one of the best vibe coded website that I've seen. And I think this guy is up to like 20K in MRR now. But yeah, it's one of those really cool websites. So I'll be adding an interactive guide. Yeah, that's cool, man. 100%. Kudos to you, man. Good day. Hey, the hardest part is shipping something, okay? And then from there, with your 34 users, I would treat them like they're like gods, okay? You message them, you connect with them, you jump on a call with them, get every single bit of feedback that you possibly can, because that's what's going to tell you what are the things that are most important. Everybody's going to have something different. You're going to start getting the common themes throughout from each person, and then from there, you'll use that to kind of decide on your progress. And just to be clear, the fact that they sign up on your product means that there's a market. That's number one. But more importantly, it means that you have enough people, or a pool of people, that you could figure out like what's the thing that's going to drive the most value. So when they give you instructions, don't take that instruction and be like, oh, I have to go build this for this particular person. Get the commonality, right, between the 5 or 10 people, however it is, and then pull out those big items and then basically, work on that. All right. Because that's going to be the money maker. But well done, man. Congratulations. That's like pretty impressive. Really, really proud to see that. And check out Sonar, by the way. It's taking a little bit of time right now, but check this out because this is good for finding people that you could connect with on Reddit that have the same problems that you're solving for. So, searching. We'll see if it finds any single thing. But yeah, good stuff. No worries, man. No worries. I'm really happy to see like such a vast variety of people in this group. So literally vibe coding right now too. Hey, good for you, man, Trey. Will do. Thanks for that. Let me see if I missed any single thing. Wish you could share mine. Okay, we got a local host. We got that. Hey, we're 10 people up in here, man. Like, how many people are on? 4. So we're 14 people. Look at that, killing it on the internet. Okay, what else we got? So we got a couple of people that are just randomly joined me on live on Instagram. So, who do you use for backend platform? Loaded question. Could answer it. I need to be in your school. Hey, join the community. Let me get you the link. I'll keep dropping it in the chat until everybody joins. Yeah, no, thanks for saying that. Oops, sorry. Oh shoot, sorry. My thing was going crazy here. So let's get you the link first. HTTPS, and then just do it right now, so you don't forget, and then come back and yeah, there we go. So who do you use for backend? So well, the question is on how much time do you have? At a very high level, I use Azure and Cloudflare. So Cloudflare is my 2. Hey, fellow Vibe Coder. Hey, man, how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. At Dwayne, thanks. No problem. Electric Energy. I like that name. Did I get that right? Yeah. Electric Energy. Yeah. I like that. That's a really cool name. So for backend, I use the short answer is I use all of the major platforms. So AWS, Azure, and Google. That being said, though, I do use so eCleverTik. Oh, okay, I got you. That's cool. Sorry, I'm dyslexic, so every single thing is scrambled in my brain all the time, every time. So it drives my wife nuts. But yeah, no, join the community. Happy to answer any questions. Always here on a Friday afternoon, chatting with fellow vibe coders and things. So, not a dyslexic person. So yeah, we understand each other very well. I messaged you in the community last time we talked, Vibeco VFS Claude use case. Oh, right. Yes. Okay, fair enough. Cool. So I gotta apologize. I have been a little bit off the community, but I'm in the community. I just haven't been like actually messaging and answering questions. But I'll promise you, any question that you have, I will answer your question for sure. I've just been a little bit sort of like, I've just been nonstop programming like crazy. So it's been a little crazy. Oh, here, you got some results here. So let's see. So add targeting. Yeah, okay, full. So find conversation. So it's given you improve accuracy, juggling multiple series tools, e-commerce. So not for e-commerce, improve. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. So why is it not allowing me to click find conversations? Casual, builder, happy. So I'm looking for casual. Include link message. Yes, okay, fair enough. Yeah, interestingly, it's not allowing me to actually this has got to be a bug for sure, because you see it's not allowing me to actually click save leads. Oh, here, sorry. Here. Is anyone stuck on mid-size creator? Okay, so here, let's see what we got. I'm curious to see. So, hey, is anyone else stuck in the mid-size creator squeeze? I'm trying to figure out if this is just a phrase or I'm circling around circling. So there's a weird middle ground where you're not a tiny anymore, but you're definitely not big enough to have a team. You're making real money, but others, you're making real money, but to others, it looks like you've figured it out, right? But behind the scenes, you're still doing every single thing yourself: filming, editing, thumbnails, finding, negotiation, brand deal, invoicing, chasing, analytics, etc. This is perfect for you, man. This is your audience right here, right? So they need some guidance on how to kind of get to the next level, right? What scaling tool? So go check this tool out. I guarantee you'll find your audience so fast, because then you could just sort of like connect with those people on those platforms and DM them, right? But yeah, this is 100% right up your alley. Like, these are the people. So already running the report. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, this is what, like, I was so happy when I found this tool, because this tool is just amazing. It's just really, really good. Worth every penny. Worth every penny. So this guy's got something. I wish he would, like, I think I did message him to see if I could do an affiliate, because I was like, dude, your tool is so good. I want to promote it more. Now I just promote it for free, just like Cloudflare, because I think it's just really good. And just be clear, I don't want to make money from every single tool, but I think it was cool. Join your group. School, let me in, please. Promise I'm going to do that for sure. I'll get that in a second here. But good to know. I'm really happy to hear that you joined. And for you guys who are on TikTok, just do me a favor and just double tap on the screen for me. You know the drill already. Okay, let me get you guys in there right away. So when you get in there, you'll see the first video that you got to watch, just to let you understand what we're about and what we're doing. So we got 2 people here. Fantastic. You guys are in. There we go. But yeah, when you get in there, watch the first video, start here. This will help you to understand what I'm about and what I'm doing and what the mission is. And then we're going to go from there and do the cloud. If you're non-technical, then do the Foundations 101 if you're a little more technical. I have tons more content to put inside of here. I've just been busy with all kinds of other stuff. So my timing has been a little bit crazy. But yeah, no, I'm happy to see that you guys are interested in what we got. Just sent my request. Will do. Okay, fantastic. Gonna prove it right now. There we go. Good job. Okay, question. Do you need a significant amount of coding experience for a project like this? For which one? Like what? Are you talking about because I was talking about a bunch of stuff. So are we talking about my Affordly app, or are we talking about what kind of project are we talking about here? So and to answer your question is okay, here's my mission. While you're answering my question, I'm going to tell you my mission. So my mission is, can I get somebody that's never done coding before, but have some understanding of computers, right? Like, we got to start somewhere, to get them to an actual company. That's my mission. So I don't care how much experience you've had in the past. I care about whether you're willing to spend some time learning, and I'm going to show you all the pieces, okay? Because just so you understand my background, I don't have a computer science degree. Never did. Didn't go to college even. So I'm not even a college grad, okay? That's how bad I am, all right? So, and I have 3 startups. I got 1 main startup and then 2 that I just started recently. So those 2 are not making money. This is my primary driver from a startup perspective. But this is my third startup. We've raised a bunch of money. We failed a bunch of times. I used to be in the website business before. I used to do online marketing before. All of it 100% self-taught. Like, just right. So when somebody tells me that they don't know, like, they're not like technical, I'm like, yeah, well, I've never been technical my entire. In fact, I think of myself as a fake developer. I just want to be clear. Okay, I don't even classify myself as a developer. I think of myself more as an entrepreneur, which is like a guy that just wants to do business, make money, and whatever the result is to get to that point, I'll figure it out. Okay, if I gotta go write code, I'll figure out how to write code. If I got to go learn marketing, I'll figure that out too. And if I got to do sales, I'm going to do that. In fact, this whole lead score platform that I built is specifically for doing sales. And I definitely am going to do it on a different channel, a different TikTok channel, where I plan to start doing live vibe coding, live sales calls. I'm just going to do them just like that. But if you ain't failing, you ain't succeeding. You're not succeeding. There you go, man. That's literally the game, right? You just gotta like experiment. Okay. I've learned that in business, the people that succeed to Ify's point is you just gotta keep trying a whole bunch of stuff and failing a whole bunch of times, and eventually you'll figure it out. Okay. So to go back to your question and answer it, app building in general for a novice. Thank you. Hey, no problem. So the answer to your question is join the community. Go to my Foundations 101. Is going to give you at a very, very high level just enough information for you to understand what you need to be thinking about when you're building an application. And then from there, you'll do my Cloudflare 101. And it's just going to give you just enough to understand how to push something into the internet. And then from there, it goes a little bit deeper, and that's where my YouTube and other stuff comes in. I'm going to put some other tutorials in here. But that was be my mission. It's like I wanted to build something where you could watch 5 minutes. See, these are 5 minutes long videos, right? And it'll just get you up to speed with the basics, right? Just enough so that you could kind of like think, because there's a lot of stuff that you have to learn, but there's a lot of stuff that if you just want to like just get started, you just got to learn these core things and you could just run. So that's what this is. So yeah, by all means, join the community, and I guarantee you we can get you there for sure. That's my commitment to you. And if I can't, you message me, you tell me what is not working, and I'll fix it. Okay, that's my commitment to you. Okay, all for free. Okay, where else on the internet you could find that? All right. Sorry, I'm just checking my just making sure that these streams are running, because hey, streaming is complicated, man. Actually, for the first time, I'm streaming on Instagram. And I don't really have a lot of people on Instagram, but I'm just kind of experimenting with it as a thing. There's nobody watching on Instagram right this minute, but that's cool. We just want to make sure that we're on all the platforms so everybody could find us everywhere all the time. Any other questions? Let me know. Otherwise, we're going to talk about some other stuff. We'll go a little more technical. Every time nobody asks a question, we're just going to jump on the technical stuff. Let's see what Twitter is saying. Let's see what we're looking at over there. Explore. Okay, so let's see. Make sure we're actually streaming on Twitter. Sorry, just give me a second here. Just trying to make sure that I. Oh yeah, we're live. Yeah, there we are. One view. Yeah, Twitter is weird, but okay, fair enough. So there we go. We're doing good. We're doing good. Do you use Netlify? I do not. Why not? I use Cloudflare because it's cheaper. It's cheaper and it scales better. Okay, so any single thing that I build, specifically TFLY, Netlify, any single thing that I build, okay. So I know this seems cheap. I just want to be clear with this. Okay, this seems cheap. Personal, $9. Observability, smart detection, 100 kind of deal. Okay, your $9 comes with a bunch of restrictions. So where is it? Oh, you know what? I should do it. You know what I should do? I should do a chart on this stuff so I don't have to keep creating the same thing over and over. Anyway, your $9 comes with a significant amount more restrictions than Cloudflare developer. Where is it? Pricing. Workers. Yeah, there we go. Okay, then my $5 a month. Okay, for my $5 a month, I can do 10 million requests per month. All right, and I could do 30 million CPUs per month. Like, you have no idea how much like a value this is if you haven't really used it. To give some perspective, I have this app. Okay, let me break it down for you in the simplest way that I can. Okay, my application, SnapSuite, that I charge customers on the cheapest end, I charge them $350 per month, one customer, okay? With Cloudflare, none of my customers, none of them have used up any single resources more than this $5 a month. So you tell me if I'm not getting a better value, right? Now you're going to argue with me and say, hey, well, Netlify is only $9 a month. I was like, the amount of stuff that I'm doing in the background for my customers, I guarantee you, I would be paying significantly more than this $12 a month for the amount of stuff that I'm doing. And all of the stuff that I'm doing, I've never paid more than $5 a month for Cloudflare. So that's the reason why I don't use any other service. Cloudflare just gives so much value, and that's because they can do it because of the, again, the level of efficiency that they're doing. So when I tell you that you should be on Cloudflare, there's no other service that you should be on but Cloudflare, with the exception, the only caveat is, and one of the other users on this said it, is a database. Okay, if you have to do database hosting, and it's a very complex database, that's the only single time you should do that. But I want to be clear. I have this app here, Affordly. Okay, just launch. Okay, so I only think there's like maybe 15, 20 users in there now, like just launch. Okay, but maybe it had, I don't even know how many records it has inside of it. So not much, but I would say, if I had to guess, maybe about say about what would I go? I would say about 5,000 to 10,000 records. Nothing crazy. Okay. This application here has approaching about 1 million records inside of it, just about in total across the customers. And this one here, this was significantly bigger. So I don't have this on Cloudflare, but I have like side databases supporting this application on Cloudflare, right? For the really big heavy lifting, I use Azure for that stuff. But for anybody that's starting out, this $5 a month will get you, from my estimation, on any SaaS product, you could get to about $1 million a month in revenue on Cloudflare at $5 a month. I'm not making that up. Okay, I will swear by those numbers. Okay, you with the right business and the right effort and the right structure, you can literally get to $1 million a month in revenue with Cloudflare. Okay, now whether you do that or not, that's beside the point. You'll have to upgrade to certain things, but I'm telling you that you could do that, or at minimum $1 million a year. Okay, that's a big difference. I understand, but for sure you could get to $1 million a year in revenue with that $5 a month. Okay, but I guarantee you, if you're a Netlify, Vercel, any of these platforms, guarantee, the minute you start getting any kind of significant traffic, you're into enterprise territory. And once you're here, like, who knows what you're paying. Okay, so trust me on this. Just use Cloudflare. I'll save you the headache. I've been there, done that. I've used every single service, and I'm not making that up. I've used DigitalOcean. I've used OBS, OHS servers. I've used GoDaddy. I've used Netlify in the past because I have an account with them. I've used Vercel. I've used AWS. I've used Google. I've used Azure. I still use Azure. Azure is sort of my backend for all my heavy lifting stuff for all my applications. Nobody has beaten Cloudflare in any of this stuff. So hopefully I've convinced you. Do your projects make do you make your projects public on GitHub? I always make private. Someone may. So it depends. So I'm outsourcing the mobile template of this because I believe there's a faster way to build mobile apps. So what I did is I outsourced. Let me see if I can show it to you, just to show you what it looks like. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I could show you. So this one here. So I'll show what it looks like on the mobile. Let's see if I could share it with you. I'll do it. Oops, no, wrong. Not the Den TV. No, stop mirroring. So here. So if I pull this up, share power. So this is, if it, whenever it comes up, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Will that work? Yeah, okay, fantastic. Yeah, there we go. So this is my mobile app framework that I'm building. So standard stuff, it has a side navigation. Click on this plus sign here and it has a slide up menu. Click on this here. Like, so it's a standard app basically, but there's just a lot of heavy lifting that I've kind of worked out the details on. So the application is designed so that the shell of the application is a native app, and what you're seeing on the inside here is just a web application embedded in the native app. So I'm just coming up with a framework to allow you to be able to build these apps significantly faster. And I put that on my GitHub. I just haven't done the proper documentation for it. But if you're looking for like what I think is personally a great start, I have it on my GitHub. So the answer to your question is, I'll do things like that as a template for GitHub. So my personal repo, there we go. That Affordly app. So that's private. Affordly back office. Where's the template? Template, mobile app starter template. This one here. So that's what I have public right now, because I feel there's just a lot of complexities with building a really proper mobile app. So this has a foundation of all the different pieces that are important, and then you could kind of build on top of it. So I'll drop that inside of there. LMAO, you're outsourcing, but you're teaching how to vibe code. Apps, y'all believe this? Yeah, listen, man. I'm a big believer in just giving as much value as I possibly can. That's my thing, right? And to be honest with you, my North Star of who I'm modeling is Alex Ramosi. You guys know him? You guys should know him. Okay. This guy gives away so much value that I'm like, dude, I can't do. I would be disingenuous if I didn't give as much value as I get from this guy. That's literally what I'm doing. I'm not even making this up, okay? And he has a business model that I appreciate, which is you give as much value as you possibly can for free, and then the people that have money, you charge them extra for other stuff, right? And I'm like, I like that business model because because frankly, when I was starting out, I didn't have money, and I was like, I'm not only broke, it's like I want to do this course, but I can't. And I don't know, I need to find like really good people, and I can't. So I just had to learn every single thing myself, right? And now I'm in a slightly different position. I was like, you know what? Give it all for free, help as much people as possible, get the value from it, and then there's going to be a subset of people that I'll do business with. It's just that simple. So but I have some long-term vision. Don't get me wrong, like I'm not a do-gooder for the sake of do-gooding, okay? I'm going to show you guys this, okay? If you guys want to do, like, if you really want to know about business, okay, go to Alex Hormozy, watch this course about scaling your business, and he's going to tell you how to go from like 0 to 1, and then from 1 to literally 100 million in revenue. I've watched every single one of these courses, by the way, because this guy is just unbelievable in the way that he thinks about things and he breaks things down in detail. And this is my North Star. So I'm like, the thing about his business, the thing that I'm doing that he hasn't been doing is what he's doing is focus on sort of like the the things that you need to do from a business perspective. What I'm trying to do is give you the tools that you need to use and the foundation from here are the things that you have to do to get your business up and running, and then follow Alex Ramosi to get you all the other stuff, right? Like that's kind of what it is. So in other words, I see a gap in the market. I'm trying to fill it. So yeah, but Gary Vee does this too. So Gary Vee does. You know what? I like that Gary Vee. Okay, the problem that I have with Gary Vee is that I get too much he gives a lot of value, right? So you're 100% right. On the business model side, he gives a lot of value. What I don't see from Gary Vee, I might be wrong with this, but what I don't see from Gary Vee is he doesn't give me tangible tactical things that I could like take home and go work on it, right? Like Alex Ramosi will give you like a worksheet where you literally just like follow it check by check. I don't see that with Gary Vee. I might be wrong, but from Gary Vee's content, he's really good at like telling you what to do, but not, in my opinion, not very good at like giving you the things that you need to do like step by step, right? So this is why like Alex Ramosi just does something way different than any other person that I've seen. Like I'm like, there's no way this stuff is just for free, and because of that, I'm like, oh shit, man. If he's doing that, then I can't charge for any of this crap, right? I was just like, so, and that's a personal choice, right? Like I made that choice because I don't want, my goal is not to make money from this stuff. My goal, I got tons of other stuff I can make money from. And just be clear, on my Skool community, like you could upgrade. There's a membership thing here, and you could upgrade to like a higher tier from a free tier and all that kind of stuff. So don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to, say that I'm just 100% doing all this stuff for free. It's just that I'm like, at this level, that's not what I want to do. I want to just make sure that every single person that's interested in starting a business and learning how to do a business, I'm going to give you the tools. I'm going to show you the step by step. And if you're not a technical person, I'm going to give you the guidance, give you all the pieces. And then at some point, when you actually have a foundation, you might come to me and want to do like, coaching or something like that. And then maybe I'll charge you then for my time, right? So that's my idea. That's my thought process. So yeah, anyway, I just appreciate the fact that you guys are here hanging out with me on a Friday afternoon and you're getting some kind of value. And that means a lot to me. So I appreciate the appreciation. And if you want to thank me, just thank me in lights and hearts, because that's just how the internet works. So keep up the great work. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I think you meant to say open source and not outsource. All right, outsource. Yeah. Sorry, outsource. Okay, that's what. Okay, that's okay. Got you. That's what the. Sorry. Yes, that's exactly what I meant to say. Yeah. Hey, listen. We got a dyslexia person here that's never been to college, that is like have like 100, I don't know, sort of like whatever liters of caffeine. So we're a little bit wired here in a weird way. Okay, what else can we chat about? We got lots of stuff there. Let me just make sure I catch up with the chat here. Projects on GitHub, I always make private. Some make them public. Yes. Okay, answer that question already. What is Cloudflare used for? Okay, so I'm not going to go into the details because I answered this question earlier, but I'll give you the high level. Cloudflare is used for hosting your website, and it could be used for your backend, and it could be used for sending out your emails. Now you could do that with Cloudflare, and in this particular case, it has a whole bunch of AI tools that you could use on the back end. So all of my platform, all of my websites are using Cloudflare, but come in here, come join my community, come to my classroom and spend like 20 minutes and you'll know every single thing you need to know about Cloudflare to get a website up in there. And I promise you, like you'll know how to do this and you'll be able to put up a website for free, for cheap, because the Cloudflare free plan, you'll be, if with a Cloudflare free plan, I would say for certain you could get to like $150,000 to $200,000 in annual revenue with a free plan on Cloudflare. Like customers, charging customers. That's how much value they're given. So yeah. Okay, answer that question. I'm trying to migrate to Cloudflare. Only issue is my DB. So you're in which database do you have? Are you Supabase? Did I remember that correctly? Were you Supabase? Maybe. Yeah, so here's what I'll tell you. Use the D1 database if you're starting a brand new project. Okay? Use the D1 database. Don't use Cloudflare D1 if you're going to be building a really large scale application. Okay, so for example, going back to the lead score application, the backend for this, while a lot of it is sitting in Cloudflare, the actual data is sitting in the actual data is sitting in CosmoDB. I've talked about CosmoDB and I won't mention it too much in this chat here, but CosmoDB is just so you know, CosmoDB is the backend for ChatGPT. Okay, so CosmoDB ChatGPT stats. So how ChatGPT scales with Azure. Okay, this was 2020 May 2025. Okay, this video here is with Scott Guthrie, who's a CosmoDB guy, and they kind of give you some numbers here. Let me show you the numbers that they got. Okay, this crazy numbers here. Let's see. So here, so Azure CosmoDB, read replica, yada yada yada, global distributed, 500 million. Okay, no, there aren't any graphs here. Is there any graphs? Scale to any needs, yada yada yada, gigabytes to exabyte of data, trillions of requests per second. Okay, they didn't actually show any actual number. Let me see. 99%, 10 minutes. Yeah, okay, cool. They didn't actually show any actual numbers inside of here. But if you really want like proper scale, CosmoDB. I mean, there's DynamoDB on the AWS side. I have to be fair and kind of promote that, but I don't even mess with that because CosmoDB is my database of choice, and that's because this thing scales like nobody's business. Okay. Now that being said, if you don't know how to architect it properly, it could be really expensive. So you have to really be thinking about architectural distribution and stuff like that. So a little more complex topic. But what is the database behind ChatGPT? And let me see here. So let me see if is there any stats? So yeah, this is just a bunch of, let me see if anybody has any stats. CosmoDB. So ChatGPT use case per 12 use case per month. Nah, there's nothing here. There's any, yeah. Let me see. ChatGPT statistics, 800 million users. 12. The bottom line is it's really large scale. Okay, that's the bottom line is. Okay, because they took ChatGPT took 6 days to get to 1 million users. That's running on the back of CosmoDB. Okay, you don't get to that kind of scale unless you have an infrastructure that could really scale up, and CosmoDB just does that really well. So highly, like, if you're like looking for like a really large scale, globally distributed, no SQL database, if none of that thing means any single thing to you, you should not be even looking at CosmoDB. Okay, but if you're a developer in the room and you know what I'm saying, then yeah. So check that out. But yeah, what else we got? I'm trying to Cloudflare only DB. Yeah, so what I would do is use Cloudflare for all of the front end back end issues. If you're using Superbase or whatever, then you're going to need Hyperdrive, Drive Cloudflare. Okay, I'm supposed to do a video on this. I haven't done a video yet. So you see here, you could connect Postgres to Cloudflare Hyperdrive. So in other words, don't move your database, move your front end to Cloudflare, and then point from Cloudflare Worker back to your database, wherever it's sitting in your backend. For me, what I do is my architecture is, here, I'll show you guys quickly. So let me see if, do I have a diagram that I can show you? Let me see if I could find one. LUCID. I might not have an up-to-date diagram because I don't really do this stuff in diagram anymore because it kind of sits in my brain mostly. And that's because I've gotten, I know what I'm doing now. So I'm like crosswalk. Come on. Crosswalk. Yeah, there's no crosswalk. Crosswalk. There we go. Let's go. Let me see if I could find. I might not be able to find something, but I'll see. Let's see. VNext 24. Maybe. Yeah, this is the next event grid. Let me see. So yeah, I'll see if this kind of gets you. If not, then we'll move on because I'm getting too much in the weeds now. Core architecture. So okay, yeah. So this might be half decent. So here, so basically what happens is this is kind of like a rough. This is a lot of details here, obviously, but don't get too caught up on the details. Just know that the way how I kind of structure things, let me see, do I have a pen I can write with here? Hang on 1 second. So the way how I kind of structure thing is, or here, 1 second. So let's say this is my architecture, just at a very, very high level. Again, this is more for my developer people, okay? I don't expect non-technical people to be following along too closely here. But basically what I do is I have on the very, very front end, all of my front end apps literally just sit in Cloudflare, okay? Like Cloudflare is every single thing. And obviously Cloudflare has DDoS detection, security detection and all that kind of stuff. And my domain name points to Cloudflare, okay? Like so actually on that note, I don't register my domain name with Cloudflare, even though you can do that. My Cloudflare, my domain names are actually sitting on GoDaddy. I can't write too much on this thing. GOD. This thing is horrible. Anyway, so GoDaddy is what I use for my domain name. That's because I've been with them the longest and they like since in the early days. But I don't necessarily like them in particular. I just think I point to Cloudflare, and then from Cloudflare holds all of the static web apps, so it's SWA, etc. And then I have two things. I have Cloudflare that basically points to a bunch of workers. So it's just a ton of workers that do all kinds of stuff. And then the things that I don't use Cloudflare for, I point it to Azure AWS management. And then Azure basically points it to like a whole ton of like backend services that are sitting in Azure that I don't need to scale up. Okay, so actually that's not true. Some of these things need to scale up, but they're sitting on Azure Function, so they could scale up independently. But every single thing before this layer here is globally distributed, and every single thing after this layer is sort of like sitting in like a specific region, East US or whatever the deal is. And they're mostly background jobs and like, processing AI audio or transcription and that kind of stuff in the back end, right? So that's to give you a rough idea how my structure is set up. But again, I'm digressing. I'm getting too technical for the non-technical people here. Any other questions? Any other questions? If not, we'll talk about some other things. Lots of stuff to talk about. It's almost 4 o'clock, so I appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging out with me on a Friday afternoon. It means a lot. Let's talk about the war. I'm just kidding. Let's not do that, okay? I'm in a good mood today. The world is burning. Really sad. Really sad. Okay. So let me what can I show you guys? We got about half an hour more, so I don't really want to go too deep on any single specific thing, but I'll try to see if I could keep it on a high level and give you guys some value. If there's no other questions. So yeah, do check out Alex Hormozi. Like listen, this guy is legit a goat. I just learned that word. I was like, why are they calling him a goat? Like, that doesn't make any sense. A goat in my world is like an animal. Like, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, for those who know, you know. Would you be keen to review my SaaS platform? Hey, man, bring it up. Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do it. Drop it in the chat. We'll pull it up right now. We'll do let's see. All right. Got to do it off screen just in case, SHEPHERDSUITE.co.za. Is that New Zealand? Where is that? Co.za? Where is that? Which part of the world are you? Is that co.za? Is that top level domain of South Africa? Got you. Okay, hey, South Africa in the house, man. Welcome. Welcome. Modern church management made simple. Dude. Jackpot. We got ourselves a proper business in the house. So first of all, I like you say no more. Modern church management made simple. This like you don't even need to say any single thing else. I'm like, dude, you got money, okay? So I do go to church, not often, but I do. My grandfather was a was a pastor, so I have a lot of foundational church knowledge, and what's weird is I only went with him. I went. So my parents were divorced, and they sent me to him, me and my brother, when we were like 9. And so I stayed with him from 9 to 14, so about 4 or 5 years. Okay, and to this day, I'm like 40 now. Okay, I'm getting old now, but I'm like 40. And to this day, those 4 years literally I attribute to who I am today as a person, because he was a military guy. He literally was in the army, and he was a Christian. So yeah, like strictness with Christianity, like whole lot of level. Okay, whole lot of level. Wake up in the morning at 6 a.m. devotion. Like I still know my schedule to this day, and I'm like, I haven't lived there in like 30 years. Okay, but yeah. So anyway, I digress. The only reason I brought this up is because I'm making a point that I do I'm familiar with some of the challenges in the church, and I think this is a fantastic idea. That's all I'm basically trying to say to you. That's number one. And number two, I was at my church recently, when we do go to church, which is like once a month or something, because I'm busy with other stuff and family, yada yada. And they did their budget, and they were like, oh yeah, we're kind of low on our budget right now. We're not doing as well as we did last year, or whatever. Our budget, we have like about $950,000 in the bank, and I'm like, what? I'm sorry, you're not doing well at 900. And so anyway, my point is, the church has money. If you could tap into that market all day long, you're doing a good and you're making money. Hey, like that's all we need. So with that, let's check it out. So modern church management. So I do like this because I know exactly what it's for. If you notice, I literally talked for the last half an hour about church just because of this statement here. Okay, so it's very clear. Because I know exactly what it's for. It's management of church system, streamline your ministry, all in one platform, track members, finances, and grow your community. Elegant, fantastic, man. Like really, really good. Membership management, etc. So this is good. Start your free trial, watch a demo. So let's go. Okay. So here's my take on this. Here, I would not do a gatekeep on the demo. Right? If you do it gatekeep, just take an email address so they could just get to it right away. Because if I gotta fill out this form for all that information just to watch your demo, oh, mind you, it's a 30 minutes demo. Okay, so it's not just like a quick intro video, right? I'd ideally like to see an intro video here, right? So that you could just kind of get them kind of excited about the product right away. But that's kind of me sort of nitpicking on the call to action, because this feels like a lot of friction right off the top, like from a procedure standpoint. But it's not terrible at all. I just want to be clear, this is like really good. So everything your church needs, a native tribe, blah blah blah. Okay, we got that. Financial smarting, great, all that's good. Built for every role in your ministry. So church leaders, admins, home cell, like fantastic. Like this is really, really good. Okay, so now what's your is this a South African thing? R999? Okay, and then enterprise. So my question, okay, so I presume the R means just a dollar sign, but I presume it's a South African thing. I don't know. So here's my question here. Okay, so we see this up to 100 members, up to 500 members, and then contact us, enterprise. I don't know which church is enterprise. Okay, if you ask me, tell me about an enterprise level church, I'd be like, I don't know, the Catholics, right? Like I don't like, what is the definition of an enterprise church? So obviously, I mean, you're very clear about it here, right? Like for small churches, for ideal for growing churches, for large churches, right? I would like to see a slightly different pricing model, if I'm being honest with you here, right? Because um, church members kind of fluctuate, right? Or let me just put it this way, they're always growing. So I kind of don't want to commit at the start. I want to easy sort of like get in. Like, okay, what am I trying to say? Let me just rephrase it a little bit differently. What I'm trying to do is, instead of me committing $5.99 per month right off the top, even though I'm a growing church, right? It might be better if you just say, okay, for the first 1,000 user, this is your baseline, and then every user after this is a certain amount. You'll still end up getting to the 599, right? Because really and truly, what is this? Right? Like it's translated to basically like less than $1 per member, right? Per month. That's super cheap. But you have to also think that not every church consistently will, not everybody gives $1 per month every single time they go to church, right? So some of you might not give donation. So the church is always kind of calculating back to the donations that's kind of given. Hopefully I'm kind of making sense here. So essentially what I'm suggesting is a slightly different business model to get to the same outcome. So I'm not telling you to lower your price. I'm just saying you structure it in a slightly different way. Right? So what would that translate to? Let's do the maths right now. So here, get my calculator, right? So if I do so you got 500 members, 599. So let's just, I mean, we know the number, but let's just do it for the sake of doing it here. All right, so 599 divided by 500 equals, so right, okay, so it's $1.19 per member is basically what you're saying, right? So what I would do is I would do this. And then let me see, hang on, let me see, 299 for 299. Okay, hang on a second. Your 100 members that's more expensive, dude. So 299 divided by 100. Okay, so it's okay, got you. So it's 299. You're basically were saying if you're a startup, it's 299 per member. If you're growing, then it's $1.99. So that's a 50% roughly discount rate, a little bit more than that actually. So let's think about this in a different way. So what I would do is I'd put a free tier. I'd put a free tier for a really small church. Right? So what would be a good free tier? Like if you have less than 30 members, it's free or something like that. Okay. And then and let me see what he said. So $1 is approximately 16 South Africa. Okay, rands. Okay, got you. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm thinking in US dollars here, but okay, I get what you're saying. Got it. So okay, got it. Okay, so maybe I should calculate in my currency. So you're 5. Let's see XE. Got it. So rands. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with South African currency. So let's see. So South Africa 599, just so at least I have some mental USD to kind of go after. So South Africa, SOUTH, South Africa rands. Is that how you say it? Rand? That's cool. I didn't know that. That's cool. So okay, 0.59. So okay, so now it's only $35. Oh wait, okay, sorry. Okay, so okay, now my numbers are completely different in my brain now. Okay, got you. So got it. Okay, so that just changes the game altogether. So $35 you're saying. So that's pretty cheap. Okay, so then in that case you don't have a pricing problem. Yeah, you don't have a pricing problem. $35, 38. Yeah. Okay, so I would even argue that you're underpricing at this particular number. So hang on. So 35, and it depends on the market too, right? So $35, 500 members, right? Okay, got you. So 500. No, 35. 500 equals, okay, so that's 0.07 per member, right? Free tier is still a good idea. I got you. So I would say that this is too low in my opinion. So here's what I would do, okay? Just on a rough pricing. And again, I'm doing this off the top of my head. So I just think, but I want you to kind of think about this because what I don't want you to get into is a place where you can't scale because you have a really big church, see enterprise, right? This enterprise doesn't make sense to me in my brain, but I don't want you to have a quote unquote enterprise church and you're getting like no money. You know what I mean? And I have clients like this, right? I got some clients that are sitting on my $350 a month, right? Mind you, this is US, but I got clients that are sitting on my $350 a month tier. And the problem is that they're actually really a $950 tier, but I never upsold them. And now I'm like, what the hell? Like, we're doing all this work for free. Well, we're not, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? So I don't want you to ever be in a position like that. So the way to solve it is you on the low end. So you could do a free tier, but you just dramatically make it like very low, like 30 members. up to 30 members, and therefore you could kind of spread the word in these like really really small community. You could just kind of get the word around and learn from them what is it that they want, and they're just, there's no support. It's just whatever you get, you get. Okay. But going with this 500, I would argue that this is too low because I want to calculate this for sure. Um, so let me take a screenshot of this. We'll do this through ChatGPT. It'll be faster for us to figure it out. So let's do it this way. Copy image, go to GPT, and then let's go in here, and then we're going to say, hey, I want to come up with a better business model. So right now this is a $500, $599 for 500 members in my church application, the SaaS management application for a church. The problem that I have is that works out in US dollars to roughly about 35 US dollars, and then I break it down for 500 members, and that translates to 0.07 per user. So it's real too cheap. So what I want to do is I want to come up with a kind of a layered tier where I could give like your first 100 members at X price, and then I could basically scale it up. So therefore, if I get a really large church with like 100 or 2,000 members, I could just kind of scale up the platform accordingly by the users, right? So give me sort of a business model to solve this problem. Okay, let's do it that way, right? So this way I can kind of come up with a tiered system that kind of works for you, but this is how I was thinking about it, because you want to be able to like get the small churches because they'll help you with your marketing and getting the word out. And then you want to be able to like get the churches that you're really going after, which is like your $35 a month. But at $35 a month, I would say that should be your base number. And then it only allows, I wouldn't say 500. 500 seems to be like a pretty big church. I would say like maybe 200 members in there. And then every single thing after that, there's a price per thing. So it's not 0.07. Maybe it's like 20 cents or something like that per member. Because that way it works out perfectly fine, because the average person at a church might give like, I don't know, $20 or $30 in a month, right? So if you're doing 20 cents on that, then it would work out fine. And therefore you could actually grow. But let me see what ChatGPT is suggesting. So let's see what we got here. So best business platform included in the year. So R9, okay, so included, so 100 member. So right, okay, so starter $399 includes 100 member. Your $899 includes up to 250 member, right? So additional members, and then you got a $14.99 per month. Okay, so that's a 500 member, and then enterprise, which we don't really think to. So so let me just see. Let me just see. So example pricing, so okay, what I want to do, okay, hang on, let me just see here. So add-ons, yeah. So starter 250. Okay, so what I really want to do is I don't want to have like an actual like fixed tier pricing. I want to basically be able to get as many people on a very low tier, like a 30 membership or up to 50 members, at a very cheap thing. So maybe 30 members at very, very cheap, like free. And then if you have, say, like 50 and up, it's one price. And if you have up to 200 members, it's another price. And then every single thing from that particular point, it's a per member pricing, like maybe like, I don't know, 20 cents or 30 cents or something like that. I'm thinking US dollars here, so you might have to give me the conversion. But allow me to be able to scale up and then show me some examples of what I would be making based on like a really small church versus a medium level church versus a large church, that kind of stuff. All right. So okay, while that's coming through, let's look at it otherwise. So honestly, from a design standpoint, like I can't critique this anymore. The two things I would do, one is find your community. I like this, actually. This is pretty cool. Just sort of like having like a sort of like a way to kind of connect with the community so they could launch these public community, because that could be sort of like a added side benefit, which I think you're thinking about, which is this idea that all of the churches could kind of publicly promote their thing. Hey, welcome Apple, nice to see you. So what was I saying? So yeah, so you could kind of have this public board where people could kind of post, events and stuff like that that's coming up, and so you could kind of get cross-pollination of different churches, which I think is a great idea. If I had to critique this design, one bit, what I would do is I would get like one of the really nice churches and I would just put it as a nice backdrop. Okay. So just to give you an example, I did a church website years ago, and it started. This is the church that I normally go to. They're not public anymore. They don't have this website up anymore. I'm trying to redo their website. STANDREW Andrews KVALE. What is it called? Way back when. Way back when. The time machine is what I'm trying to get at here. The time machine. Oh my goodness. Time machine. St. Andrew's Church. Oh my goodness. Okay, here, let's do it. My time machine internet. Wayback Machine. And then I gotta go STANDRE. My goodness, can't type. This is the problem when you just do voice typing all the time. You can't type anymore. So this is what a website looks like now. Like, look at this, okay? It's horrible, okay? I'll tell you it's horrible because, yeah. So this is the website that I had before. Let me go back to like 2013 maybe. Let me see. Let's see, maybe. A long time ago, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so okay, so it's not loading every single thing, but you get the idea, right? It had oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. So this is the church, right? This is the website. Okay, this is what it looks like. Hey man, how are you doing? Paul, work from home dad. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So yeah, this is what it looked like, right? But you see, I got a nice picture of the church, right? You can kind of get a feel of what it looks like with the Bible and all this kind of stuff. We're talking about church websites today. This is what the inside looks like. So my point is, just so that you don't feel like just another SaaS, right? You just put a church of some sort, just to make it feel a little bit more kind of on the thing. So that's my only critique from a design standpoint. And like I said, the pricing. Let's go talk about the pricing right now. So what's up, activate members, blah blah blah. Okay, here we go. So now we got some numbers that we can talk about. And again, I'm just giving you a formula to kind of think about things a little bit differently. I'm not saying go do this, giving you sort of like a formula, because you want to be able to tier your pricing up with the size of church, but make it accessible for the church to, because most church think of themselves as nonprofit, right? So it's like this: 20 or 30 members free, okay? 40 members, $9 a month. So these are like fixed pricing for the small churches, right? So that they can kind of think. And mind you, I'm thinking in the US dollars, so this might be, you have to do the conversion, okay? That being said, so your medium and think churches, now you start doing this sort of like your $9 plus the first 25 at 25 cents, right? Per member, okay? So this just allows you to kind of scale up very easily without making it look too expensive at the start, okay? Because most church are going to think of themselves as nonprofit, therefore they don't want to pay a lot of money, right? So I'm doing $9, which translate to what in your money? Let's see, $9. So that translate to let's swap it, and then $9. So $9, so that translates to $152, right? So you still get to, so let me just see where would be your 500. Your 500 was 35. So where is it? 35 here, right? 34. So okay, so I'm a little bit more expensive than you, but I'd rather be on this side here, right? So at 150 members, it's $9. And then it's this basically 25, sorry, $100 times 25 cents will get you to the price that you gave me, right? So I'm a little bit more expensive. I've essentially dropped my pricing, but it allows the user to keep, it allows them to keep adding members as they go along, right? Because it's possible that you might have, I don't know, you might have a really big congregation, but some of them haven't attended church in like 5 years or something. So you could also kind of put a tier at the back where it's like, if you're active within the last 90 days or something, you know what I mean? Like something to kind of give some guardrails. That would be like a way to kind of think about it. So anyway, hopefully I'm giving you some ideas to how to think about things a little bit, right? So 35 is your 575. Okay, so there we go, right? So that was the pricing that you had given me before. So that was your rough Rand. Mr. Paul, work from home. What's up? Yeah, really appreciate it. Hey man, not a problem. Happy to help. Thing. But otherwise, this is a really good business model. And this way, so just the last point I want to make on this here. Get rid of enterprise because I don't, like I said, I don't know of enterprise church. You just have you have like a, let's call it you have a free tier, you have a starter tier that would be your $9 or whatever it translates to in your currency, which is what does it say? It translates to 152 R, right? So you have a super cheap tier, and then the next tier, which is your most popular tier, is this sort of like growing tier. Whereas like if, right, it puts you at it puts you here, right? So it puts you at the, no, sorry, it puts you at the yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it puts you at the $9. It so you could do like 150 member basically, or sorry, any single thing over that 50 member. Just keep it simple, right? So any single thing over, you keep it at the $9, and you basically say it's 25 cents per member after that. And this allows you to kind of just have a varying price. Now, obviously, you have to upgrade your backend to kind of solve for that problem, but that's easy. You could do Stripe, I think it's called Stripe Metering. Stripe Metering service. So a Chargebee will do it too, but Stripe Metered Billing. Yeah. Okay. Here. Yeah. Metered billing. Okay. So with Stripe Metering, you could tell it the parameters, and so for each client, you could just tell it, hey, this for if I have 10 users, this is the cost, and Stripe will just automatically upgrade or downgrade that. So check this out. Stripe Metering Billing is what you're basically looking for, or the equivalent. Like there's other services that will do the same thing, right? Otherwise, this is a fantastic idea. And then I would even go so far as go find the biggest church that you know in your community and go sell it to them for free for the first 60 days to get them hooked on the platform, teach them the platform, learn about it, and then use that to anchor yourself to sell to the other churches. So so find like maybe not the biggest guy, find like the second or third level church, whatever that translates to in your space. Go sell to them and just give them for free for like 60 days and say, listen, I built this brand new platform. I want to help you solve your problems of like managing your users and all that kind of stuff. And just basically give it to them for 60 days. And it's like, I'm going to work with you and I'm going to help you set it up. And here's all the benefits, etc., etc. They're going to be like, oh, wow, this is great. Like we love it because, church people, they want to solve this problem because most of them are not technical. You get that, then you take that and you use it as a testimonial, and then you come in here and you just update, you put a testimonial inside of here, trust, you see where it says trusted by churches across South Africa, just put one for now. Just said, this church says this, get a quote from the pastor, right? Or the senior administrative person, whoever it is that you're dealing with. And then you now go to the second church now and be like, hey, this is what these guys have used it, and you charge them. Because now they're like, oh, well, if they're using it, then we should definitely use it for sure. So you kind of want to be like not too small of a church, but not too big of a church, because you want to sell the people up at the top and you want to sell the people down at the bottom. But the guy in the middle is a good enough reference church for you. So that's how you solve that problem. All right. So anyway, hopefully I've helped you out with that. Like hopefully that gives you some idea on what to do. But keep me posted. Join the community if you haven't, please, because I like this idea, and I might actually use your service because I got it. My church community that I might actually get you to. I might sign you up because I wanted to rebuild their website, because I'm like, look at this crap. Like, look at this. Horrible. Look at my website that I did. I don't know. What was that? 2013, right? Look at this. Okay. I did this in 2013, and some Joe Smuck did this recently. I'm like, what is this crap? Like, it's horrible. So yeah. Anyway. So yeah, that would be the way to solve the problem. Hopefully I give you some ideas on how to do that. But I really, really like that idea, man. Good for you, man. No problem, man. No problem. Keep me posted. Join the community. Keep me posted on how you're doing. Put some updates inside of there. Service unavailable. Why does it say that? I drop it inside of there. Yeah. If you haven't joined the community already. Work from home, man. How's the things going? I haven't seen you in a week. You were here last week. I think you were, right? Yes, we really appreciate it. Got to. Thank you so much. No problem. So, hopefully you had a good meeting. I know every single day, like 1 o'clock or something like that, work from home. You normally have a meeting with those guys. Hopefully you're thinking about this vet ID very seriously. And hey, I really want to we said been fixing balding man. Oh, bro, are we yeah. Good one, good one. Balding soon. VOVALD. You know what? I gotta get back to this stupid website. That's so funny. We gotta fix it. We do that. Like, it's the funniest thing. Oh man, I'm gonna launch this thing, and I promise you, when I launch it, people are gonna be like, "You gotta be kidding me!" Like, my plan is to launch this and make it go viral, and people actually believe that AI can solve baldness. That is my mission with this. I just got busy with a whole bunch of other stuff, but we're gonna get it there. I promise you. And we're gonna the goal is yeah, this live counter here, I want to make sure that it works properly so that people join the waiting list to actually launch this thing. Bro, launch it on April. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. April 1st. That's what we're gonna do. That's our mission now. Yeah. Ball in soon. We're gonna get it out on our product hunt. We're gonna get it on Hacker News. We're gonna get it everywhere, and people are gonna be like, "What the hell is this? AI has gone mad." Yeah, that's what we're gonna do for sure. So yeah, and I'm gonna use it as a good use case of how to launch something, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to build something from scratch and just make it go viral. So yeah, we're gonna try to do that with Baldwin soon. Um, but yeah, man. Hey, listen. So on a serious note, on Paul, I'm actually really interested in your business, your business model. I'm interested in everybody's business model, but definitely yours for sure because I feel like the veterinary, clinics and stuff like that, the industry that you kind of familiar with, there's definitely a market there that we could tap into. So I'm happy to work with you in any single way, see what we could do in that market because I've been thinking about that market directly. And so the truth is that if I could like fast track that process and you have some industry knowledge, then we could team up and we could work together on something. So happy to kind of um, commit some time for that. But yeah, message me or connect with me in the chat when you got some time and we can kind of chit chat a little bit for sure. All right. So, um, but yeah, hey guys, like, listen, I'm telling you, it's been a pleasure. Yeah, it's almost 4 o'clock. Sadly, I gotta cut off. Like, I got a hard stop today because I gotta pick up my kid from daycare today, and it's snowing. Believe it or not, in Canada again, which is really annoying. I thought we were done with this, but yeah, it's snowing, and yeah, sadly, I gotta go drive, and I gotta go clean my car so I could get out and thing. And it's not just like light snowing; it's like legit snowing out there. So it's really annoying. So, damn, heading to Alaska next week. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I'm so sick of this snow. It's not even funny. I had grass this morning. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to cut grass soon. And then this afternoon it's like snowing. I was like, what is this? Okay, guys, we're done. Okay, like we're done. I need a break. So yeah, but not happy. Let's just say. But anyway, guys, listen, it's been a pleasure as always. You guys are fantastic. If you haven't done so already, join the Vibe Coding School community. There's going to be lots more stuff coming. I keep promising that. I promise you. I got to spend some time. I'm going to teach people how to do terminal. There's a bunch of non-technical people that don't know much about terminal, so we're going to do that. I got a course that I want to bring out about how to teach you how to like just launch your first product marketing a little bit, like Paul showed you the vibe coding, the balling project. So we're going to do it. So there's just lots of stuff that we got to talk about, but it's a slow grind because we got work and other stuff to do and I got business to run. But join the community, ask your questions, engage in the community. We're slowly growing. And like I said, my commitment is to bring as much value as I possibly can to you guys. Your job is just to basically show up and just, get the value. So with that, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure for sure. Everyone, for sure, this community is so much value inside. Hey, appreciate that, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Paul. So Okay, you guys have a good one. I gotta go sort of
Great.
shovel my
Here's your
driveway of my
reminder.
car, so I'll see you
Start
guys
workout.
later today. Have a good day. Bye. See you guys next week. End stream. And end stream. Boop, boop, boop.